I'm gonna come and deliver them broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to
Yo niggas ain't tough. Yo niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. YAHANNA, YAHWH to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, a card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite school of I.S.U.P.K, under Commander Heaux. Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander YAHANNA, under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021 I.S.U.P.K 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord, of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
The Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver them broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to
Yo niggas ain't tough. Yo niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. YAHWH to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, a card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite school of I.S.U.P.K, under Commander Heaux.
You know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander YAHANNA, under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021 I.S.U.P.K 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Player Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
The Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver them broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to
You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough.
You young niggas ain't
Hey,
talking.
Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Brakatah. Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashim Yahweh Shah to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000 and called up a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Junior Hunt.
Power and you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on. I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander YAHANNA under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Player Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
2021, I.S.U.P.K, 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Player Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
Prisoners at I.S.U.P.K. come out of One West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Tonight we in D.C. This is D.C.'s Wednesday law class. And we're going to go into the law. To hold or not to hold, that's a question, man. Our sister Chloe Bailey, she's a 22-year-old artist. She's a twin. Her twin plays the Little Mermaid, and I believe they were before her twin had got popular for the Little Mermaid movie. They were popular for the music, and they had a podcast. Now, as of lately, I believe this month of this year, they used to share a platform, but as her sister went to Europe to record, or went to Europe, they decided to create their own. They decided to create two separate pages. So since the sister Chloe has got her own page, she has been, she posted some pictures that's provocative, or supposedly she wants to be sexy or is sexy, and she had we got challenges out. They got stupid challenges out. They got the busted challenge. You know what I'm saying? And you have the silhouette challenge where you dance in a red light or some kind of dim light where you can only see your silhouette when you're dancing. So Chloe Bailey, she was dancing, and then there were some people who shamed her, or fans that may have shamed her, and may have, shamed her and said some things on the lines of she's a thought of it or a hoe, for showing herself like that. And they had a higher regard or respect for her, and did not see her as a woman that would, show her body or dance prerogatives, things like that.
Right.
And so the next day, and we'll pull up the video. The next day she was crying, and she went. She said, she's seeing everything. She's seeing everything that everyone's saying, and she cried. Online saying that that she's really a nerd, and that she has low confidence and insecurities. And one of the days, I take some of that too, the gentleman. She said that that she's really a nerd and spirit when she feels free and feels beautiful and feels sexy. Dancing is one of her platforms, just like her music is one of the platforms that she expresses herself. So the sister's a beautiful sister, but unfortunately, what I'm gonna go into is how women, women and men have insecurities, and we are attacked the same way in some different ways. But a woman could be, beautiful as hell, but she still have insecurity or something that she doesn't like about herself. And some women are influenced by Instagram hoes or what they see on social media.
Right.
So they may have an image. I mean, they may be themselves. Maybe it's a regular girl, or what the world may call a good girl. I mean, and that's the thing. We're gonna talk about peer pressure too. Like when they call a woman a good girl, it's like she doesn't do anything. Or you a good girl. You don't drink. You don't smoke. You don't party. You don't do anything. You a good girl.
Right.
What she's doing is she's being the righteous sister. Not you can drink, but no, she doesn't get high. She doesn't want to party or be all fast, or you sneaking over your friend, your best friend when you were in high school or middle school, whatever, sneaking to see some boys, and you like, nah, I don't want to go. And your friend peer pressure you and say, oh, you scared, or you too much of a goody two shoes. You were right for being scared.
Right.
You were, because you didn't want to shame your parents. You were in trouble with your parents.
Right.
And that's that's the same. And time after time, we'll see young ladies. Hey, Shalom, bro, where you going? You see ladies and young girls who at a time were good girls, but then after some kind of experience or trauma, they would change. Reality side of good girl gone bad. It happens time and time again. I witness, all of us witness it, and we're going to teach them how to stop that.
Right.
Because the world, America is teaching our women an evil lesson, and then we have evil witches like Gabrielle Union, who's our sister, but has chosen to push evil agenda, which I mean, aka homosexuality.
Right.
Homosexuality is evil and wicked because the Bible says so.
Right.
And Leviticus 20 and 13. She pushed her, her stepson, what's the stepson name?
Who's Slugger, sir?
Dwayne Wade's son.
Zion.
And now they want to be called Messiah.
Right.
But also, so now, when Chloe Bailey was being shamed for, putting the silhouette challenge and dancing sexually on the internet, she was Gabrielle Union was the sister that came out and said, it's okay, it's tough when you dealing with the comments and stuff like that, but be brave, and we here with you to support you.
Right.
So now the other time the silhouette challenge was going on, but now ever since the sister was shamed for showing her body, for dancing like that, and people shamed her like, nah, we're telling her don't dance like that or don't be a hoe. Now when women do the silhouette challenge, they tag Chloe's name in it and to support her. So now you have a group, you have a support group who's a whole support group. This is a slut support group, whatever. It's related to, not the same as whatever. These are hoes supporting a young girl to become a hoe.
Right.
you know, she's at the beginner level, or she's at the beginner. She danced online, and I guess she wasn't known for being like that, being fast like that, or dancing sexually like that.
Right.
Somebody they had a good image of Chloe Bailey. She showed something else.
Right.
And I don't want, and don't get it confused. If a woman, if you want to twerk, dance sexually, do the busted challenge, do the silhouette challenge, you want to be throat baby. All that is good, but it's do it for your man.
Right.
For one person. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, all those things are fine. You can be sexy. It's a way how to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can, you know what I'm saying? Like, brothers a man would love that woman to wear lingerie or anything. You don't have to be born to be, cover yourself from head to toe like, a ninja or like a Muslim woman.
Right.
Or, you don't have to be dressed like a nun.
Right.
But what you have to do is cover yourself up. And there is a good thing in being shamed.
Right.
So the words today, we're gonna put our shame, insecurities, and peer pressure. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is one of the words also. Because now y'all pressuring this young girl to continue to be a hoe.
Right.
Or play the hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got a picture of her up?
No, last sir.
Yeah, as I was talking about her, but you can pull it up again. I'll let you know when to pull it up.
Okay, God.
Let's just go into the video real quick.
Like if I could, you're saying, because it's two extremes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have one extreme where religions like Islam and so forth teach you to completely shame your body, even when you're with your man. Like, for example, I remember I used to work for this devil who was Jewish, and he was saying during sex, his wife does not expose herself. She covers herself with a sheet, and they put a hole through the sheet. And that's how they have sex. On the other hand, you have Christians who completely go out and fall out whore.
Right.
So there's no balance. That's why it's good to bring it up in the lower class, because sisters will get confused as to how they should carry themselves.
But the brother is saying, if you heard the brother said was, it's two extremes and it's different philosophy. So yeah, you said the first was a Jewish guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Jewish guy, and he would have sex. His wife would not show her own man her nakedness.
Right.
Your man can see full out tail,
right,
full out vagina, everything. The breast is for him. Show him everything.
Right.
It's rightful. It's rightful. So, and it's righteous.
It's a
you can see everything.
Private chat and settings.
But what the brother was saying was some Jewish people wrap a woman. They have sex by wrapping in a sheet and then cutting a hole in the sheet. And he's sticking his penis through the hole of the sheet to get to her. Good night.
Yep, couple
right. That's idiotic. That's stupid. That's and it's because they don't know the law. They read something in the Bible.
The water, sir.
And try to come up with their own philosophies and come up with their own doctrine.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got that from when Moses was naked and his sons covered Moses with a damn sheet.
Noah, sir.
I mean Noah. Noah was drunk on wine and was naked, and his youngest son Ham had made fun of him. And Noah's two oldest sons, Japheth and Shem, walked in his tent backwards, so they didn't see his naked. So they walked him backwards, and they covered him with a sheet, so they would not shame their father and see their father's nakedness.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if the stupid Jewish man, the Amalekite, took that scripture and now thinks that his woman has to cover the sheet and to have sex. You got to cut. You can't see her nakedness, but you can cut a hole in that sheet and put your penis through the sheet.
Right.
That is stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because he walking backwards to the room.
All right. All right. You knock on the door. Oh, the door. Big. Oh, you naked? You got your head backwards and you walk into your own bed backwards. Damn all that. I'm not walking in backwards.
Right.
I'm walking in like Leonidas. Walking in like Iron Mike. Muhammad Ali. Ridiculous, man.
Right.
And then he said the second one was
the second extreme is going to be Christianity. It tells you don't slut shame.
And this is the thing. The second is Christianity, and it's different things with Christians, because you have some Christians, and this is the tormenting thing with Christianity, right? Christians teach you should not have sex until you're married.
Right.
We know the word of God says sex is marriage, right? But Christians teach that you shouldn't have sex until you're married. So what Christians do is have sex and then cry. Some women have sex and they cry after because they in their mind they feel like they're wrong.
Yeah.
I've met Christian women like that, where as though they full out would try to It's some Christians or Jehovah's Witnesses. They would dress modest, like try to wear a dress, try to cover up, and not show anything. And when they get that urge, they sneak and go get some penis. And that man will still try to date them and have sex, but then they'll try to cut that man off immediately after that one time because they feel so horrible, and because they've been taught the wrong thing. Give me Colossians 2:8. That explains what the brother's bringing up. All right. YouTube. If you have any questions on Facebook and YouTube, let me know. Or you go ahead and ask some questions. But we'll go into it. Our women are encouraged to and peer pressure to do the wrong thing, but also, man, we have to, Black, Latino, and American, any man, we have to control the narrative. Our women are doing what attracts us. All right, so we gotta and are so attractive, right? As a whole, as a black man, as a man. If you're a black man, and if you're saying Cardi B, Amber Rose or Rihanna, when Rihanna likes to go to the Met Gala, go to the award show, sometimes she'll wear a sheer dress or a dress, pull out naked, right? Or if you're pushing that Kim Kardashian is sexy, if you're pushing like women with whole traits are sexy, your woman is going to mimic, is going to feel insecure first. She's going to feel insecure about it, and then later she may change her way. Later she may change and mimic Kim Kardashian, mimic Cardi B and all the women, Megan Stallion. Right. I see women all the time. I have friends from I'm from DC. I have friends from DC, so I follow them. They follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will see them post a picture. A woman will post a picture of another woman. So a woman will post a picture of Megan Stallion with her behind out, and a woman's caption is like, "Damn," because she don't have a Megan Stallion. She's amazed by Megan the Stallion's body, and there's nothing wrong with Megan Stallion's body. Her body isn't, but it's not for the world to see. Right. It's not for everybody to see. Our black woman's body, and black and Latinos, they got the best body. Right. They can't fight that they fat as a mother. They can't fight. They got a butt, tail, and the Lord blessed them with it. And those are women. We got some holy, righteous possessions. And their body is not the most righteous trait. Their mind is. The way they move and the decisions that they make to the household and represent you most righteous. That's number one. Are you still looking for something?
No, lie.
Pull up what the scripture actually.
I already got it.
Huh?
You said Colossians 2:8?
No, I want a warrior. I want you to look. Just type in on YouTube. Type in Chloe crying. Chloe Bailey crying, and it should be the first video. And then you can mute it. Let me see the time. Go ahead and do that. We'll see. We'll let it play. I'll tell you to skip. I'll tell you to skip it up a minute.
Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you.
First of all, you gotta beware lest any man spoil you. Black people and Latino people, we have been spoiled, man. Like we think, like we have insecurity as a whole or as a family. We think you got rappers that sing about it, and we do it. We think it's cool to take somebody else's woman. We think it's cool. We think that's cool. We think that's what's up. You feel like a man, or you feel like you got a trophy when it's it's gay, right? Because she could have been just throw baby in her man last night, and then you trying to take her, and you're gonna kiss her the next morning, and you're tasting him. That's gay. She probably even brush her teeth. You gotta beware. Shalom your stars. You gotta beware. Those are one of the evil things. Go ahead and continue. Shalom, sister. You know, I thought about you know shop. Who you got? Colossians 2:8. You got it?
2:8, yes.
Pick up for me. Pick up for my brother.
Okay, Colossians chapter 2, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Philosophy and vain deceit. This scripture is twofold. This scripture is talking about the philosophies of Christianity, Islam, and different religions, which though it separates.
Right.
Like in high school, in my era in high school back in 2008 through 2011, 2008 through 2011, there was a big following of Islam for young teenagers for my generation. Through 2008 through 2011, all of a sudden, everybody was rocking kufis. Everybody was Muslim. And I was in school, and now me and you are black, but you got a kufi on, and if I beef with another brother that have a kufi on, y'all two will come up against your own black brother. Both of us got the same blood, but it's two different mindsets, two different philosophies. And read it again. Read that again.
Okay. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Now we spoiled those three things. We spoiled as hell. I got to beef with him because I'm not Muslim. Y'all two will fight me. But both of us black. All three of us black.
Right.
But because y'all two got on kufis and y'all two bow and got marks on y'all heads from that carpet and hitting their head on the floor, now. You know, both y'all now it makes y'all brothers and we ain't brothers. Even though we are.
Right.
Go ahead.
I gotta speak to that time because in 1999 I took a shahada, looking for the truth, and nobody was Muslim. So when the time that you talking about, I just came back from Houston, and everybody had a kufi on, salam and everything, right? Yeah. But none of them knew what Islam was.
They didn't. Right. That's what I'm saying. It was a trend. It was a fad. It was a trend of fact. I had on a daggone kufi when I was 15, 16. And I did not pick up no Quran. I just had it on for that one summer because everybody had it on.
Oh, wow.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah, go ahead.
So I just heard from me. What you were speaking about, that's when you go down Chinatown, all the youngers had kufis on and selling oil.
That's what I'm saying. In 2000,
it wasn't even Muslims.
For my generation, through 2007 through 2011, we got to talk about women, but I'm just talking about how philosophy spoiled. Right. Through 2007, DC through 2011, 12, there's a big explosion of young teenagers who got into Islam. Right. And they would jump another black man who had beef with a black Muslim. Like, if y'all two Muslim and I got beef with you, all three was black. But because I ain't got no kufi on, I'm not a Muslim. Right. Y'all will beat me to, y'all wouldn't even try to squash the beef. Right. Like, Islam don't even teach no brotherhood. Like, y'all supposed to be more disciplined, like Salaki, nah, brother, we gonna squash this beef. Nah. What they will say is, what a young brother will say is, oh, that's my I.S.U.P.K. That's my I.S.U.P.K. Right. And then fight like it would be a fight.
So you basically saying they was just being in a gang.
It was a gang. it was a gang of Mecca or something. Kufi gang, whatever. That's what it was. So then read it again.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
And the other philosophy is this. Where so the Bible will teach our woman how to be and how to have morals. We'll teach them how to have morals and respect. But in this world, they're taught how to be hoes, and they fashion themselves out of the evil ways of after Rome and Greek. You know what I'm saying? The Romans and Greeks, they was big freaks and big whores. You know what I'm saying? Marilyn Monroe. And that's what Marilyn Monroe, she was a popular hoe. Right. That's why if you ever date, how many of y'all dated a woman in the past where she had a picture or she idolized Marilyn Monroe?
Right.
Anybody? If you even Rihanna just recently promoted her Valentine's lingerie, and I think she had blonde hair, or she had her hair fashioned behind like Marilyn Monroe. The spirit of that Marilyn Monroe around. You know what I'm saying? So that philosophy, that whole philosophy of, you know, hoes get all the attention in this world. Hoes are the most worship and praise in this world, and that's what our woman is going after. A woman see what the men like. If we like a Rihanna, I remember when I came in, you know, in the school 9-10 years ago. Rihanna came out with an album. She had an album cover around about 2010 or something like that. With it was like her breast was out and she had like an Egyptian tattoo. She had that on her album cover. I don't know if it showed her nipples or not, but I was talking to one of my friends. He's like, "Damn, Rihanna, of your cleavage and show your breast." I said, "She a hoe." He's like, "Man, no matter. She look good." And that has become the standard that, you know, as long as you look good or you're beautiful, no matter your standards, no matter how many men you had sex with.
Right.
And that's what they trying to teach this Chloe Bailey. That, you know, she's showing her body. What you looking at now? Because
I already got it, sir.
Okay, you got the video?
Yeah, kind.
Okay, is it play it? Let me see. Is it gonna play the sound?
It should. It plays through the laptop, sir.
Okay, let me see if we're gonna play. So read that again. Philosophy and vain deceit is, I think, is layers and layers of stuff. Like this has come from back in the women's movement, but the women's movement back 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
This comes from kicking a black man out of the house. So now the daughter and the son don't have no father to really guide them.
Right.
And now they run the father. The son is running loose. He's become a gangster or homosexual or whatever, or he go to jail or he dies. The daughter becomes a hoe or a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? These are layers of philosophies that America, the Caucasian, our oppressor, has pushed on us.
Right.
And now you know it still affects us up to date.
Right.
And that's why what we have to do, see what he just read is how he spoiled the vain deceit and philosophy. We have to find a righteous, strong philosophy to wash our minds and cleave onto.
Right.
And it will make us. It will make us strong. And now we would defend our minds against evil philosophy and deceiving philosophy.
Right.
So deceiving philosophy is, you know, 50-50 marriage. There ain't no 50-50 marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the God is the head, then Christ, then the man and the woman. That's it.
That's right.
That's the holy structure. You know what I'm saying? The deceit is the deceit is the American marriage, the 50-50. That's deceit. That's vain deceit. You know what I'm saying? That woman needs to be guided. And it's not that your wife, like, you know, all of brothers that have a woman, your woman will say something right. You might be doing something. She said, "Hey, babe, you know, how about this? Or try this." And you might, you know what, babe, that's right. So it's not that she can't say anything. But for the most part, you are the guide. She's a weaker vessel. Certain tasks she might try to complete, but she's not fully strong enough to complete, and you will have to guide her and help her out how to complete that, to help her complete that goal or that task that she's trying to complete.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You will guide her. It's your job to be the guide. Right. You know? But America will try with all their strength and all black men to get him out of the house and until that black woman that's fun. And she shouldn't listen to her man.
Right.
They will go fight. America will fight tooth and nail to help to take all strength away from the black man. And that's why our daughters and sons are destroyed today.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ayash.
It's also economic feasible for them to do that.
All right.
Okay. Off of, you know, they call this capitalism. The system is capitalism, bad. like big prisons are big business to them. Get the woman out, get the man out the house, and the kids will go crazy. That's a proven fact.
Right.
Put them under a woman and she'll teach them how to be pretty boys. And they're gonna buy all of the Jordans. You understand? And dress and buy all of the Gucci belts and Prada, and even some of them starting to wear perfume and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's economically feasible for them to keep the man out of the house because they know a black man, he'll walk around in damn camouflage and the damn black camouflage shirt all damn day. You know what I'm saying, right? They'll teach his son, and the son will see it, say, my dad he's not into a bunch of style and everything, or whatever they call. What you guys call it? You got flavor. No, we used to say flavor. They say you got drip or whatever, right? So hey, look, I'm old school. Swag, or whatever. You know what I'm saying, right? So young black men, they chasing swag, which is economic for them, and it keep their kingdom pushing forward.
Right. With the brother is saying totally right. He's saying, it's economically feasible for them to keep the black man out of the house because she would buy without that head will put a cap on it.
Right.
Like right now, you fighting your woman for over Amazon.
Right.
You bring your woman to Amazon. Right. So just spending things. And there's nothing wrong. I order from Amazon, but I don't order too much.
Right.
They'll just order.
Right.
Close that tab.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go to look at the grocery store. What we need in the refrigerator?
Right.
Amazon. You don't need no candle holders right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
So like I said, if I may, what you said is so heavy, and I.S.U.P.K come on said it's heavy too, because I remember coming up, my rib asked me, why do you still have clothes from like using the 6th grade? Why you don't dress up? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, damn, all I seen was my pops in work clothes.
Right.
He didn't go out and buy clothes, and he wasn't buying that. So to me, that was foreign. But if it was up to my mom when they were still together, he would always check her, like, why you keep buying clothes for these kids? Wash the clothes they got and put it. I remember those arguments. Right. So it's heavy. He said that.
You see, it's a righteous argument, and because the man, the woman. Just like all the way to just like in the Garden of Eden, will be persuaded and seduced by the serpent.
Right.
The serpent, will always tell her to buy something from, buy this and buy that. It's nothing wrong from getting your kids clothes.
Right.
But if they have too much clothes, they can't even. Right. Like some of them cannot fit. The closet's full. The dresser's full. Right. You got to go buy a container. Now you got to get a container. It's busting out the wall.
Yeah.
Right? You open the door, you gonna fall.
Right.
All the clothes gonna come down on you.
Right.
That's too much. And she got too much damn clothes, and the kids do too. And it's in a man, like how you saying, the man will always. That's why you're the God. You always gonna put a cap on her vanity. And you gotta put a cap on your vanity. You know what I'm saying? You'll put a cap on her spending. You'll put a cap on, her mouth.
Right.
And things like that. You'll give her limits.
Salaki,
Go ahead.
No, I mean, and it's heavy you reading that scripture.
Right.
Spoiled through vain philosophies, right? So, black people got this thing about, I want to spoil my kids.
Right.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't even know we saying certain things and don't even understand it.
Right.
So that's a philosophy to buy your kids all the Jordans, vain deceit, because it means nothing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like all of that means nothing.
And but the brother bringing out was true, because what he said we read it in Colossians 2:8. You got spoiled through vain philosophy and vain deceit. And what we say is we'll spoil our kids.
Right.
Yep.
We'll get them everything. But that's not raising them up the right way, because when you spoil your kid, now their mind is spoiled and they won't have any discipline. They're gonna think they're supposed to have anything.
Right.
I mean, they're gonna think you're gonna raise them up to them thinking they're supposed to have and receive everything they want.
Right.
And then when they can't do it, they're gonna first have an attitude and get upset. And then when they get older, they're like, all right, you ain't gonna buy it for me, I'm gonna go get somebody else to buy it for me. So the son, he might, if he can't get a job or he might illegally go get money so he can exploit himself.
Right.
And he's gonna get locked up and get jammed up.
Right.
On the other side, a woman,
right,
she's gonna try to get up. There's gonna be a man. He's gonna see her and see a tender young woman, and gonna just fill her up with lies. And she's gonna hold herself for some a bag.
That's right.
A Chanel bag.
Right.
Whatever bag. Burger. I ain't gonna say burger because everybody burgers is like $20,000, $30,000 for some genuine leather. So. But Chanel bags and all them other bags and all them clothes, she's spoiled but through vain deceit. Like she thinks like that's the life.
Right.
Okay, that's what I want to teach. America is teaching us only one way.
Right.
Like now, especially now, everybody wants to be famous.
Right.
And people will pretend or want to just look famous. Like I know people who got a regular job, but for that Instagram and Facebook, they might be taking pictures in front of a yacht, taking pictures in front of a Benz, BMW.
Yeah.
They don't own none of that. Right. They just found a yacht or found a BMW, take a picture in front of them. But America is teaching them that they have to look rich.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be walking around with a Gucci belt on, but when you go home to flip on the switch, and the lights ain't gonna come on. Right. There's be no electricity. And no electricity in your house, but you're gonna have a Gucci belt. So we gotta get back to the topic. Our woman has been spoiled through vain deceit, whereas though now and I'm gonna bring out Jasmine Sullivan. She got an EP out called Hotels. Yeah. It's very good because it wasn't like a Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. Those kind of women, they promote being a hoe. She didn't promote it. She sung about confessions. She sung confessions about how it was her story or somebody else's story that told her, but she was singing about how, and if the first song was beautiful, number one on the top was her singing about how she was singing about herself or about a woman who was being sloppy. Like no woman would tell her would admit that, okay, I'm being sloppy, and she said, I'm being sloppy. I don't even know how many men I slept with, or I'm being sloppy because I woke up in somebody else's bed. I don't even know who he is. I don't even know what his name is. Right. I don't even know what he looked like. But all I know was, I was drunk and I was high. I was flying high. That's what she said in the song. She said she was at the club high. She was flying high. She was turned up drinking, and now she getting sloppy because she adding her bodies. That's the first song. But she wasn't promoting doing that. She was confessing. And she called and she called herself. She's like, I'm being sloppy. I'm being loose. She's like, if my mama hear about my stories, my mother be ashamed. That was the first song, and it was beautiful because it was a confession. And most women don't confess that, especially put that on mainstream. Like she's a mainstream artist, So everybody, it was a good story to put out because everybody else is promoting it. Will promote be a hoe, or promote do what you want to do. Right. But hers is more of a that's sloppy, stacking up bodies. That's crazy. If my mother hear about this, my mother will be ashamed. That was good that she put that out. And that's what happens. It happens because back to the spoiler through vain deceit. Women sometimes act out when a man leaves. They will act out when a man leaves them. Okay, say if a woman never had sex and the first man she gets with, she has sex with him. She's going to be in love with that man. She's going to be in love with most of the men that she get with. But that very first man that she was with, she's supposed to stay with for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, she knows that, or will give that feeling, or give that impression. And in her mind, naturally, her first man that she laid out with, in her mind, she's thinking about being with him forever. So when that man leaves her, like it was a sister that was here 2 weeks ago. She said that for her, when men had left her, the first thing, the first effect they would have on her, it would make her lose her appetite. So when she was with she had a man. the man left her and she lost her appetite when the man broke up with her because of the depression and the mental things that, the sadness and depression. So it was, you lose your appetite and then you cry. But then this world will teach you how to get over that by I noticed most women that get broke, that's like within my generation, when they break up with somebody, they will cry and be sad and be depressed. And then after that, they will change the color of their hair. I've seen that plenty of times where a sister, her hair was black, she'll change it blonde. I seen another sister who had a fro, she was broken up with, she felt like she had to change it. She dyed her hair red and then she pressed it out. So they will try to change their image and try to become, in their mind, what they think will be more attractive or something like that. So it's a lot of things that play out. And then, so, they would, so then what I experienced in my past was a girl broke up, went to, what I seen with my own eyes, broke up, went to a bar that night and was just kissing different guys. She got drunk and she was kissing different guys that night. How many guys? She kissed probably like 3 or 4 different guys, and they were strangers. And she was, and then it was explained that she was lashed out like that because her boyfriend had broke up with her. So, and we spoiled through. It's on both sides. We spoiled through man's philosophy because a man got to know from youth, from when he's born, that sex is marriage, and it won't put a woman through that stress or that depression. And on the other side, a woman got to know if a man leaves you, that she can't do that. But if we had a righteous setup, if a man left a woman wrongfully, it will be judges and elders of the village of the city that she would go to and tell. Like, this man left me, I didn't do anything wrong. Or it will come out, she might have did something wrong. But they would deal with that in order. It'll be a court, and they'll deal with it in order, and it'll be dealt with at the end. Right. That's the righteous way. That's what the ways we got to go back to. But because we're spoiled through vain philosophy, now it's like, we might feel, we feel guiltless for leaving the system. We don't understand the damage it does. Right. And then vice versa. When I was like 17, whatever, 18, it was some sister I first madly fell with some skinny light-skinned chick with hazel eyes and a big chest. And we did. She had liked me because of my style, and that's another thing I was going to pressure insecurity. Like the brother's saying, like this brother here, because I was saying, I was wearing regular clothes. I didn't start trying to get. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting fly. Right. But if we think about why we get fly, it's some stuff that we like. Other times when we're trying to be extra fly, we're doing it for attention. Right. Mm-hmm. But we doing that to attract some women, and because we know if we're not that extra fly, men know they don't have it's levels. So we know if we're living around the way, we gotta at least have a nice car. You gotta at least try to get a BMW, try to get a Mercedes, try to get a little chain for women that live in your city to attract you. Yeah, right. You become a little dope dealer, or you might have a good job. You go to the club and buy bottles. Women in the club want to see you buy them bottles. You can see the sparkles and all that. Yeah. This got bottles. Sparkles. You got to see the sparkles. Yep. So but brothers really don't be trying to spend $200, $400, $600 on that. But brothers will go through that and do it to attract some hoe who may or may not give them any vagina. Right. But it's a possibility. Right. And we'll go through $600 for a possibility of some vagina. We spoiled through philosophy. We vainly deceived. Yeah, absolutely. We are vainly deceived to go through all that. Right. And it's so on the other side, like I said, I met some chick. I'm a teenager dating her for like 3 months, and I take her to go. We was into Harry Potter back then. Harry Potter came out. Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire. I'll never forget Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire. That's like the third or fourth Harry Potter. Right. I take her to go see that one. So now, I try to pull a move on. We in the movies. You're a young boy. You take a girl to the movie. I'm trying to kiss her. She let me kiss her, and then she yanks away. I'm trying to figure out why. So I kissed her again, and she like, you're not about to make me cheat on my boyfriend. She never told me she had a boyfriend when we dated for 3-4 months. She never told me that, ever. So, you know, now I'm in my feelings, but I'm like, okay, I bought this ticket, so I'm gonna watch this movie. I like Harry Potter. I'm gonna watch Harry Potter in my feelings. I'm gonna watch the damn movie. I watched it, and as soon as the movie was over, I got up and I skipped past it, and I went out, and I got, because she was just on the left, and the exit was to the left. So I jumped up, leaped over her, and I, walked up the edge. She ran behind me, pulling on my shirt. I yanked my shirt, and I keep going. I keep walking down the street.
Yeah, right.
Because I ain't messing with her. But I turned back, and she got the nerve to be crying. But I kept walking. I let her cry. I was in the world, but I was soft because 2-3 weeks later I did go back talking to her, but then I had in my mind, now I'm gonna treat her like a hoe.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it was like, okay, I still like you because she still looked good, but now I'm not gonna try to be your boyfriend. I'm gonna still be cool with you because I'm just gonna try to have sex with you. I'm gonna use you, and that's it, which is evil, but it's revenge now. But that will start a young man. Like it's plenty of young men like that, and it started me on a path of just using women as tools, not treating them as human beings. And all of us do that. I mean, all of us had did that, and it's through being spoiled through vain deceit. We weren't supposed to be treating our women like that, but because we don't have this,
right?
The righteous. The righteous philosophy, we spoil it, and that's what happened with the sister too. You got to get a video.
Yeah, come on, sir.
Okay, go ahead and pull. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Good.
It's ridiculous the things that we go through, right? The trauma that black men and black women, Latino women, that all of us go through, and it's simply because we don't have this.
Right.
Like this will teach us that sex is marriage. Right. This will teach us that black women, because your man get another woman, you gotta stay your black ass there. You're going nowhere. Right. You can't leave. Right. You jealous or whatever, that's fine. Your man ain't going nowhere. He's allowed to do that. It ain't nothing but 2 headaches anyway. Right. Okay? We gotta have patience and understand to deal with you and love you. Okay.
Right.
It's nothing but it's two. It can become 2 burdens or it can become 2 blessings. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the brother, how he stands strong, and how he has the patience to teach both of them. And depends on if they're going to actually listen and change. But this thing could take years. This also thing could take years. Like when you're raising a kid or get a woman also. Say if you can UPK now, if you get a woman now that has not been raised up with this within the righteous way of learning the real the laws of the Bible, you're gonna have to have patience because it's gonna be your first time not celebrating Christmas. It's gonna be your first time not doing Valentine's Day. It's gonna be your first time, which is coming up. It's gonna be your first time not doing a lot of things. It's gonna be your first time understanding what real love is, what real beauty is, what real confidence is. And at times, because we're so hard-headed, right, we've been so damaged, we've been so damaged, it takes years. Right. It will take time for her to fully understand it, for her to fully heal. Just like you. Like I've been here almost 10 years. There's still some things. In 10 years, I'm still learning. Or something I'm just not really starting to understand and really starting to grasp it. And I'm like, man, okay. And really starting to, grasp what the scriptures are really saying. Right. So it's a thing when somebody teaching you and telling you and you learning, but then later on down the years, you actually grasp it. You'll see it as a movie. You see the Bible as a movie. You really understand it, and you will start doing things wholeheartedly. Right. Go ahead, bro.
I have a question because what you were just talking about, you were talking about a sister who doesn't, know the truth. They're not, they haven't found the truth. So I it has me nervous to even try women who I know don't know the truth. So like I'm very good with speaking to everybody. Like, you know, just last night I had a guy, one of my friends, he's kind of like passive aggressive when he talks to women.
Right.
Yeah. I'm talking to the girl that he is, but I'm like controlling, not trying to control, but I can talk to her like he can't. So I'm good at that. So I can direct the sister towards the Most High. But if she's not really with it, like what am I doing this?
Right. First stop right there. Get a brother hand. The reason why I'm giving you a hand is because you admitted of being nervous, and it's something that all of us go through. You will come in this truth, and some brothers will be amped to tell a woman, like they're taught, you are the head of the household. You know, are the one to give orders and set things straight. Some men will go out there and, you know, be on their woman. Other brothers, they will do it, but because of because you're coming, you yourself, like how many, you know, say how many days you've been in this coming to the class, right?
Maybe like a good 3 weeks.
Good 3 weeks.
Correct.
So let's say you've been in here for 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks of strength compared to 30, 40 years of Christianity. Right. 30, 40 years of Christianity been teaching you how to be a beta, how to be weak, a weak man. You got 3 weeks, you've been in 3 weeks, we teaching you how to be an alpha. It's a tug of war. And a lot of times because of 30, 40 years of being a Christian, it's going to be stronger, but you have to have the strength to fight that 30 years of philosophy, of vain deceit. And the reason I give you head because even me, at times, it's been a time where though I'm telling a woman, my own woman, telling her what to do. But at times, I might find myself before, like, you know, hey, don't. Let me see an example. When I come in here, have, you know, this has to be clean. When I come in, have this clean. When I you know, look, make sure you don't leave the lights on when you leave the house. It's Christianity. Because in your mind, you know, you used to speaking up as if you used to seeing men speak up to women, and women be like, "Who are you talking to? You ain't talking to me like that," right? And stuff like that. So in your mind, you right here learning that you are to give orders, but your muscle memory and your brain memory will be like, you fight against your own body and your own muscle memory of your muscle memory will fight you and tell you ain't supposed to be speaking to a woman like that. You ain't supposed to be you know, you're not supposed to be so aggressive. Not be aggressive, but you're not supposed to tell her what to do. She can do whatever the hell she wants to. Your 30 years for some brothers past of them being Christian or being in the world because of what we learned is telling them that they can't tell a woman what to do. They come in here for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 3 weeks, 5 years, 6 years, and have to get really strong to do the right thing, which is to tell that woman to keep their household in order. Right. So I know when you said you feel nervous, I know exactly what you mean, because even sometimes you like a woman will ask you something. Oh, yeah, I think is it okay for a man to have more than one woman? And then you got to answer, but sometimes you even feel nervous. You like, yeah, you can have more than one woman. And then like but you just like, yeah, hell yeah, damn right. It's a strength that you will develop. That brothers will develop. Some brothers grasp it more than others, but eventually all of us will grasp that strength. Right. And have the strength to tell a woman the truth, no matter what we have learned for the past 20 years or 30 years or 40 years of our life, you know? So the way you do that is just doing it. Like not caring how and that's right. When we say that to them, we're gonna automatically care of fear of how their reaction. Right. Fear that they're gonna act up. So we tell them, look, you know you're supposed to listen to your man, right? You know it ain't no 50-50 relationship, that he's the head, you gotta listen to him. But we know because of America, the wicked the deceitful thing that they taught our women to. They taught our women to be loose and be free, and she can do whatever she wants.
Right.
We know that we're fighting against that.
Right.
We know that we're fighting against philosophies. Award, give me battle against high places and wicked.
Right.
What's it? Wicked philosophies. Wicked doctrine. You got the video?
Come on, come.
Okay, play that.
Come on, come.
Let me see if it has the. Let me see if it will have the video up on there.
I can finally get to a place where I share
Okay,
my
the brother,
video.
the brother K, Shalom, brother, what's going on?
Really insecure for a long
So
time.
which is
And I'm
the
finally,
correct way to pray and repent? Okay, let me type a 1 if you're still there, K. Go ahead and put the video up.
Place where
Turn up a little
I
bit.
have self-confidence.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cry. Chloe Bailey got emotional on Instagram Sunday.
Okay, now that
about
one's
her
type in Chloe Bailey
really
crying.
means a lot to me when I can finally get to a place where
Yeah,
I
tell
share
me.
who I
That's what I
really
typed
am.
in, sir.
And I've been like
Hold on, let me see what
really
you're doing.
insecure for a long time.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
And
that's
I'm
good.
finally
Play, go back a little bit, like 5 seconds and play it.
it really means a lot to me when I can finally get to a place where I share who I really am. And I've been like really insecure for a long time. I have self-confidence. I'm not gonna cry.
Is that it? Okay, so if you, we're gonna find a whole video, but basically, as you heard the sister say that, you know, that she has had insecurity for a long time, and she's finally finding self-confidence. But her confidence to show the world her nakedness.
Right. Right.
You know why? Because everybody before her, Beyonce, Rihanna,
Right.
Cardi B,
Right.
the most popular woman before
Right.
them, Marilyn Monroe,
Right.
and all the other original whores who are white, who are called Greek and Roman.
Right.
The original whores,
Right.
they all were popular for their strippers, popular. Kim Kardashian, popular. You get what I'm saying? Like they are the most popular. Like everybody used to worship and follow Michelle Obama, but y'all weren't trying to dress like her.
Right.
Y'all was trying to dress like Amber Rose and
Right.
and all the
Right.
other ones.
Right.
Nicki Minaj.
Right. Right.
Michelle Obama ain't you know, you couldn't see no thong on Michelle Obama. Everybody would look and say, "Oh, she got a butt on her." Oh, I'm like, yeah, she got a man. Y'all see looking at her butt. But she would dress. Michelle Obama would dress model. I'm not for the Obama. I.S.U.P.K. is not for the Obama.
Right.
But I'm just bringing out a woman that y'all hold in high regard and worship, and y'all respect that Michelle Obama. But y'all ain't, to her, she ain't sexy. Y'all want to follow her, but she got style. She used to walk out on the White House and we'll see pictures of her. She had on good, nice looking coats and dresses and all that. But that wasn't sexy to you.
Right.
When she was the sister, the woman was a representative.
Right.
Go ahead. Slide.
I'm gonna say something. Slide, I mean, because you know what I'm saying in Detroit, man. I'm gonna tell you something that's so evil how Esau operate, right? They saw black women start to look at her as a role model. Mm-hmm. And the first thing they started to say about her was she's a man because she wasn't showing her private parts.
Right.
And you didn't know what they were trying to make it seem like you don't know what she is because you're not showing her private parts. Right. They look at every black woman that had some type of, let's just say, some influence on black culture or black people. They want them to actually be a whore. They want to be able to see private parts. And that's what they teach our young daughters and young sisters. And them sisters, man, they get destroyed behind that because nobody wants a whore for a wife, man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta leave them. It's gonna hit like the brother was saying. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes hit and they be gone, man, because they know what it is, but they don't want our sister to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our sister was just, that was heavy, you brought that up.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, sir, for me. Our sisters, they used to, I think, cater to any boo.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She dressed, you know, the same way. Right. And she really kind. She's really the cartoon really a black woman. Right. They like, you know, they do this was not really sexy.
Like so that full video.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
She was speaking.
Oh, because it's going through the feed concert.
Right, go on. No, so you know we're supposed to give me and also
every woman out there, don't
Looks like
go ahead, no, go ahead, play.
Come on.
And I think for every woman out there, don't change who you are to make society feel comfortable.
Stop right there.
Okay.
And
so you know that's the beginning of the video, right?
Yep, come on.
So she started off. So this is her response. The thing is from doing the silhouette challenge, right? Mm-hmm. You can hold that tab and pull up. So you can pull up the silhouette. You ain't gonna play like 3 seconds of it with the blue light. But the silhouette challenge is a challenge where the young folks, or I mean, older people are doing it too. But it's a you know, they get a light, like a red light or a blue light, mm-hmm. and then they will dance. So what you do is what you would see is it's a red light, but you can't see their face. You'll just see a silhouette. They dancing seductively in that light. You also got the busted challenge. The busted challenge is when they dress like they don't have their makeup done, their hair done, they got on a shower cap and a robe or whatever. They look in their home and they're comfortable, and then you know they tap the camera or whatever, bust it. Right. I mean, when the music when they bust it, now the image switch and they all dressed up, but they dress like whores, right. And they drop down and they on their knees, bouncing on their knees, bouncing their behind.
Right.
You know, so and all of that. If your woman, she should do that for you only.
Right.
That's it. She can do the busted challenge. She can do the silhouette challenge. The song "Throw Baby." That's fine. Whatever, have them dead, and I get a chalk. That's fine. Your woman should put you out like that. That's woman. She let her, or you put her out like that. Put each other out. It's righteous. You know, it's beautiful. It's holy for a black man to be with an Israelite woman.
Right.
And y'all go. You know, go. Mary did it. Mary had a spirit. The Holy Spirit put a spirit on her to go and get Joseph and get that baby about her.
Right.
And then the baby was out. That baby was Christ. The black man named Christ, our Savior.
Right. So
there's nothing wrong to, you know, being that be turned on or whatever they call it, you know, horny or whatever. But do it with your man. That's fine.
Right.
Don't let the whole world see. Right. That's where you're messing up at. The whole world is seeing your nakedness. Right. And this is against the law.
Right.
And it's playing the whore.
Right. I got that silhouette challenge.
Okay, too. Play a little bit of it.
Come on.
Okay, this is what y'all see on the screen now is y'all gonna see a little bit of the silhouette challenge. This is the video that the sister got shamed on. You can turn it a little bit so the brothers can see. You can turn it a little bit. Yeah. So just play like 5 seconds of it or 10 seconds of it, and then you can just drop it right there. So you see the silhouette challenge is a blue light, or most people using a red light, and one is dancing seductively there. And it looks all the way good. It looks good. You say, woman, the sister's in good shape. It looks good.
Right.
The thing is, what's wrong and what is disgusting is that now all of us can see. Everybody should see that. It should be one man granted to see that.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then the image. So now you can drop that. So that I want you to use that tab. Use that tab to pull up. if on a Google search, just type in Gabrielle Union and then space bar Chloe Bailey. All right. What's up?
Yeah, come
What's what you have?
That was a good point, sir. And that's why I think the Lord for the I.S.U.P.K. these law classes, because with the sister, when you listen to the sister, she's confused.
Right.
Because if you hear her, she's saying, don't stop being yourself, because she knows it's in her to want to be sexy, but she doesn't understand that there are laws around that to keep her righteous.
And what the brother is saying is right, is because everybody that's listening to this, everybody that's listening to this, it's not that I don't want you. We don't want a woman are beautiful, and a woman are beautiful and attractive.
Right. Yeah, right.
Do that, be that, but you can do that, dress a certain way. I'm gonna have a brother pull a picture of a woman looking all the way good, with dresses on, and not even dress, but just like a coat and whatever, shirt and jeans. They don't have to show any skin.
Right.
They don't got to bend over and twerk.
Right. Right.
There's plenty of women that we've seen walking down the street, at Walmart, at the movies, at the club or something. They have a shirt and some pants,
right.
Or they had on a dress. You might see her at the club. The club might have on a dress, and the dress is got her whole body covered. You can't even see anything. And you like, she look good, and you want to go talk to her.
Right.
She don't gotta be naked for you to go see it. I mean, she doesn't have to be naked, to be sexy. And that's a confusion also with this generation. Also, when it's their birthday, which they should not be celebrating, because birthdays is worship of yourself. You should only worship the Most High God.
Right.
You should only worship the Most High God, but on birthdays, women, when they get sexy, they wearing almost nothing.
Right.
On their birthdays.
Right.
They wearing a thong. Like you might see them a picture, and they're like, "Oh, turn up, girl! I was lit. It was my birthday." And they at the hotel with their friends, or at the house with their friends, and they are naked. I mean, they are wearing a thong, or wearing some lingerie, some mesh bra, or some see-through bra that's showing their nipples, showing their nakedness, man. And it's a trend. All sisters are doing that. A lot of sisters are doing that on their birthday. They celebrate their birthday.
Okay.
They on their birthday, their way of getting sexy means they have to show their breasts. They have to show their behind. That's being spoiled to the philosophy.
Right.
Like your sexiest, when you at your sexiest, you gotta. And then you know what? To a point, the reason it's true, when a woman is naked, to a man, of course, she's the most arousing.
Right.
It arouses you.
Right.
But as it should, but she only, like I said, she should be arousing her man. That's it. Don't get online and arouse everybody, and then everybody is going to look at. The reason why people saying that you are a hoe is because hoes do that, and girls that are not hoes, they don't do that.
Right.
There's plenty of women that we know who will be like, girl, I ain't showing my body on the internet. My man ain't having that. Or they be like, girl, I'm not showing my body on the internet. I will never do that. I'm not gonna. What you think, I'm a hoe? That's why when you meet certain women, you might try to date certain women, right? And say in the world, you try to pull a fast move on her, you try to have sex with her that night.
I seen it.
Or you'll try to grab her butt that night. And she like, what you think I am? And she check you. She should check you. If she's being right? If she ain't no hoe, she gonna let you know, nah, I don't have sex on the first night. Nah, you can't grab my butt. We don't do all that on the first night. We'll get to know each other. And eventually you going to, eventually y'all, as long as y'all stay together, y'all will, y'all have sex or whatever. But there's some women who don't, do that. There's other women who are hoes and they will do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like a man walking around with a police uniform on, and then trouble happens, and you let him know that about the trouble. He's like, I'm not a cop. Well, what you got on a cop uniform for?
Right.
If you dress like a hoe, everybody's gonna think you a hoe. That's another thing. That's another thing that these women are pushing out here, and you are stupid and very dumb. You're trying to push confusion, and you're dressing like a hoe. You're showing your flesh and showing your body on Instagram and Facebook. A million people is gonna like you. A million people is gonna be in your DMs and inbox you. They're trying to inbox you and trying to have sex with you, and then you're looking like, I'm not no hoe. Everybody trying to have sex with me for? It's because you're promoting yourself. Right. You're wearing a hoe's uniform. That's why. Right. You're wearing a hoe's uniform.
That's scripture for you, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Mm-hmm. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Like when we out here battling, it's like us. Like we out here battling against Christianity, Islam, and all kinds of philosophies. But I'm not going to go and punch a Muslim in the face.
Right.
I'm not going to go and shoot a Christian because they believe in white Jesus. I'm not going to shoot a Muslim because he worships a rock. I'm not going to shoot him or fight him. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we do defend ourselves because we ain't Christian. Like if a Muslim come in, a Christian come attack us, we're going to defend ourselves. But we never offensive and try to just go and smack some Christian upside the head.
Right.
He deserves it, but it ain't our job.
Right.
Go ahead.
But against principalities.
Right. We guys against principalities, against certain standards. Go ahead.
Against powers.
Against powers. Right. America is a big power that pushes Roman Catholicism, that pushes Christianity. These different, America and Rome, they push. America owns this land, and we got to follow we got to follow after their traditions, after their laws, and after their customs. And their customs are wicked and disgusting. Right. Their customs destroy us. Right. Their customs have us eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Their customs have us become rapists and molesters. Right. And then not say nothing about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Somebody now that we follow under their customs, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is famous for grabbing a vagina. Right. That's their custom. They're gonna see a woman they like. They ain't gonna ask her name or nothing. They're gonna see her, grab her vagina because that's what they want. Yeah. That's what they desire. Now we following after that. Right. That's not our custom, man. Our custom is to see that woman, you talk to her. If she has a father or parent, go to that father. Hey, excuse me, sir. I would like to marry your daughter. I would like to court your daughter. Mm-hmm. And that father will say yes or no. And the father will say, yeah, you can do it. But before all that, look, I got it's a big yard back there. That's grass is messed up. You know what I'm saying? Weeds is high, that's taller than you. But if you can clear that out, you most definitely can marry her. It's all the deal is all up to him. He write up the deal, and you gonna sign that deal on the ink, on the dot. You gonna sign that deal, and that's it. You gotta uphold it and keep it. That's the righteous, the righteous way to do it.
Right.
Go ahead. Somebody, what the word say?
I say that's the contract.
That's the righteous contract.
That's the contract that they try to say that you make. Like in America, they tell you make the contract with a woman.
Right. And see, that's the thing.
Contract with that woman.
Right.
Go ahead.
And that's the thing. What he's saying, he's totally right. Like the contract was with the father giving away his daughter. Right. Now the contract is with the woman. Right. And it's all messed up. Like American marriages don't last. The divorce rate is high. Right. In America. And it's crazy because it destroys our woman because now they can do. You got a woman right now. If you don't put a ring on her finger, she's gonna try to say. Some women might say. You might tell your woman, "Hey, look, you can't dress like this, or you can't do that." Do I got a ring on my finger?
Yeah. Right. Yikes.
I'm doing whatever I want until you put a ring on my finger. Right. Mm-hmm. Meaning, a woman with that attitude, once you put a ring on that finger, that actual ring is more valuable than her vagina. Because that vagina has been has mileage, been used up. It's ridiculous.
Like it, you heavy on like it's swinging heavy tonight, yo. on top of that, once they get the ring, right?
Right.
It just gives them more leeway to be even more wicked because now you got to go through so much to say even through Esau's, like through America's custom,
Right.
you got to ask to not have her as a wife no more.
Right.
And then you got to lose part of your whatever you earned or whatever. So you keep her in. She knows that. She used that as a tool to be even more wicked.
That's what
you know what I'm saying.
And that was the next thing I was going to say is with that marriage, American marriage, how even it's going to end. The ratings are, the percentages are high on divorce rates is high. It's going to end, and you're gonna come out broken or broke. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like what Rick Ross said, you weren't with me shooting in the gym.
Right.
He was talking about, I think Kobe's wife or somebody's wife at the time, or something like he was talking about, she wanted, gonna want some of his money. It's crazy. Like you'll become a, multi-millionaire. Right. You're married to a woman, y'all divorced, and then now she gets money. Whereas though in God's kingdom, that ain't it.
Right.
Like it ain't no divorce.
Right.
Like it's actually a court and a system. Y'all want a divorce, y'all will come in front of a man of God. And he'll say, well, what's the issue? What's the problem? And he'll hash it out like, brother, you being simple. Don't be so harsh to her, to that woman. Or he'll say, sister, you need to listen to that man. You being too hard-headed. You trying to run stuff. You have to submit more.
Right.
You have to stop being so masculine. Become more feminine and listen to that man. Right. He's gonna make the judgment on who's right and wrong, and that marriage is gonna stay together because most of the time the marriages with our issues, you just need a righteous judge to tell the hash out the issue.
Right. Right.
And y'all ain't gotta get divorced.
Right.
Because Christ don't want you to get divorced unless something serious is happening where as though she's gonna cheat when she's cheating or cheat on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most women, what I'm seeing is most women don't really cheat. There's a lot of them that do, but most of them don't. But there's a good amount that do. What I would say is this: black women are loyal, right? They loyal. They've been taught to cheat or to be hoes, and they gotta learn. They don't fully know what it means to be not loyal. You get what I'm saying? So they gotta know that at work you can't be it ain't no work husband. You ain't at work. You got a man your main man at home. He your main man, and then at work you flirt. It's another man that flirt with you. He might sometimes buy you some lunch and walk you to your car. Nah, it ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? She gotta know what loyalty means, man. Go ahead.
I didn't want to get too far past it, but so what if they don't have a father?
If they don't have a father, then they don't have a father. You talk to their mother. If not, and right now you will get that woman, and you will come to us. It would you talk to a woman tomorrow, or right now you're talking to a woman. You will come to a brother here, a priest here. You'll say, this is your setup. This is what I'm gonna tell you what to do. And I.S.U.P.K, get you a woman. The best thing, some brothers don't, and it's not law, but the best thing for you is to tell, a man of the Lord, like your camp leader or somebody, that, I'm talking to the sister. Don't have sex with her yet. Before you have sex with her, let the brother know, hey, look, I'm talking to the sister. And then that man will say, okay, so what you think about a sister? You'll tell him about that woman. And then he'll think about the things that you're telling him. He'll ask you to describe the woman and things that she's doing, and then he'll think about her traits and things that she does, and he will tell you, okay, he'll bring her in. And then there might be a council, or she might not come in, but the man will for sure will tell you throughout the time that you're courting her. The courting is you dating her without no sex, without no kissing and all that. No sex, no kissing and all that. You'll court her for 6 months to a year, and then keep reporting to that brother that you choose. Hey, it's like this is that. She's like this, she's like that. And then that brother will tell you, okay, go ahead and marry that sister. go ahead, which means go ahead and have sex with her and be with her forever. Or the brother will say, nah. Like you gonna call, hey look, no, this sister here, you know, she you know, I dropped her off and I went home and I woke up and she was, you know, back at my house when my windows was busted. Cause she thought, you know, she thought I lied to her. Like she might be mentally not stable. Like you might drop her off like, all right, I'm going home. Because of her past, she might think you lying. Like you drop her off, but you going to go see somebody else. So now she got to follow. She got to retract your steps and go back and make sure you at home. Make sure you ain't lying to her because she been lied to in the past or something like that. But because of her past has made her crazy. She has a legion of demons on her.
Right.
And now she doesn't understand, or she can't really really trust with men and women. Like we don't really trust each other because of the wrong philosophy. We don't trust each other enough. When you come in here, we teach men and women how to trust each other again. You know, so that's really what it is. Like your woman might do something, but you might, because of your past, you can shit. You know, this woman, like me. Oh, I took this girl to the movies to try to kiss her. She told me she had a boyfriend. She finally told me she had a boyfriend. Now I'm just going, you know, for now that means every woman. That means every woman has a boyfriend now that they not telling me about.
Yep.
I shouldn't treat every woman like that. But in my past, I kind of sort of did.
Right.
Or I didn't treat them like that, but I would not get too invested in them with love or keeping them. I would see them, be attracted to them, have sex with them, use them for sex, and that's it. And not treat them like a princess should be treated. Because of one evil woman. Now everybody gotta get treated, you know, ways of everybody don't deserve that, because we met some evil women, but we also met some real good ones that we should have let them go. We had some good ones in our life. We're like, man, you might think some years later, like, I should have kept her. What the hell was I thinking? Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Because that real good one was actually invested in you, and actually loyal to you, and actually doing things that we took for granted. And vice versa. Women got men that they took for granted that they still call today. They still call them like, please, like, just give me another chance.
You're right. Cash out.
You know, brothers do something. Okay, go ahead.
If I could, sir, on the point you was making earlier, and it's such a heavy point because there's two myths. There's two myths as to what people think changes them, right? The first one being baptism. They think like once they go into the water, they come out different.
Right.
And the second thing being the wedding ring. They think once you put that wedding ring, I was joking with my friend the other day, he's in the world. He was telling me how she used to always tell him, like, she want to make him breakfast before, because she don't got a ring on. Now she has the ring, he still don't get no breakfast.
Right. It's ridiculous. When the brother bring out the brother bring out is heavy, like, you know, y'all, you know, you try to, you know, a black woman trying to hold something over you.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't got your ring on. You don't honor our marriage. I'm not cooking you any breakfast. You put it on and you see that wasn't a point. You're just evil.
Right.
You're just evil.
Right. So the dangerous thing about it too, with those two things,
it's
on their end, they really believe that's going to change them too.
And one more thing, why in the movies, when you about to get, like a man that's married and he about to be with another woman, how come? Okay, before you have sex with the other woman, in the movie he had to take that ring off.
Yeah.
You look at it.
Yeah.
They gonna have sex with the other woman. Or like, you know, in TV shows and movies, you took it off. You know, now even if it's something like innocent, like in movies when or TV shows when a brother just took it off, he went to the gym, took it off, he left his ring in a gym. Something I was watching. He left his he left his ring in a gym bag on a locker, but he forgot where he put it at. So he like, oh, where's my ring? My wife gonna kill me because I can't find my ring. Brother, like, no, hell no, that's like look for it, like, no,
right.
It costs a pretty penny, so okay, look for it, but
right.
You know, if your wife, it's the philosophy because now in that TV show, the propaganda that's pushing that when you get home, your woman's gonna think you took it off because you were trying to show off with some woman and you were trying to have sex with some woman. But really and honestly, you left you doing some curls and maybe the ring is messing up your hands when you put doing some curls or you on a bench. Like, the propaganda that they push on us, that America pushes on us is ridiculous. And the UPK is here. We have our own propaganda. Yeah, so we're gonna promote. That's why we're going on Facebook and all that. It's gonna be pictures of a man with children down the line, and it'll be 2 women in that picture, or 3 women in that picture. We're gonna promote that it's holy for if a man wants to. Now you ain't never have to have a woman. That's what Paul wants you. Paul would say he'd rather you be dedicated, like, all our first, we all got more than one wife. Our first wife is this truth. Right. Paul would rather you just have this truth as your woman and you don't have no woman. So you be more dedicated, because if you do have a woman, you have to be dedicated to the truth, but then sometimes you might not be able to teach on Wednesdays because somebody watch your kids. So you gotta watch the kids. Or you gotta somebody else gotta do your job because you gotta go handle the family. Right. So it's like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Paul, he would rather have you all the way up into it. Yeah. But he said, if you burn, if you're working, if you got that urge, don't fight that urge. Go ahead and get married. Go ahead and get married because you're gonna end up just doing something wicked. Right. Mm-hmm. Instead of you just fighting that urge, like Christians. Yeah. Some Christians dress modest and they believe sex is marriage. So that's why when they go out to that party, they have sex and then they run away from that man and then they cry and they're depressed because they feel so horrible inside because they know in their mind they taught that sex is marriage. So, but their tail been hot for so long and they've been untouched for so long. They just, they need that oil change. You need it. Oil change. Their bodies is talking to them. And that's what your body is, it's nothing wrong with having sex. You have to do it the right way though. You gotta have, if you were a black or Latino man, you gotta, or a Native Indian, you only have sex with another Latino and Indian and black woman. Right. Not another man. Don't have sex with another man. That's unlawful. Don't have sex with your dog. Right. Or, I hear some stories. Don't have sex with, that's the stories I hear about. Don't have sex with the goat. I heard that with a couple of some black friends I had in high school, and they country. They got their family owns some land. Their family owns some land. They didn't have sex with a goat before. Right. They didn't have sex with a goat before because their grandfather owned a farm. Don't have sex with your grandfather's goat. Okay? That's unlawful. That white woman, leave that white woman alone. Right. Don't have sex with that white woman. Certain cities, in certain lands. I mean, like DC. DC is mostly populated with white people. I mean, it used to be Chocolate City, but now white people are taking over. So you will be at a party and run into some white woman. Don't have sex with no white woman. Right. Don't have sex with the Africans. Don't have sex with them Asians. Don't have sex, what I'm saying? It's fine to have sex, but make sure it's a woman, and then the last thing, which is the first, make sure she don't have no man. Make sure she don't have no man, because now she'll lie to you. Oh, I got no man. Really, she do. Even though she really get into arguments with that man, or they beefing. That's still your man. You can argue with your man, y'all ain't been talking for 2 or 3 days. Y'all still married. Right. Y'all still together. He ain't breaking with you. You just need a little break from that mouth. Right. Or a break from you so he can control himself and not end up in jail. Right. It's good. It's good for you to take a 2-3 day break, whatever break you need, to prevent violence or prevent whatever. Right. It's good. Was anybody on the scripture? Continue that scripture slide.
But we wrestle. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. But we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual places.
Spiritual wickedness. That's what it is.
Right.
You got a tab when with Gabrielle Union?
I got a tab, but I didn't know what specifically
You
I
type in
look for.
Google. You type in Gabrielle Union and Chloe Bailey. What popped up?
It's saying Gabrielle Union defends Chloe Bailey's sexy.
Click on that. That's it right there. She's a witch. She Dwayne Wade's son Zion, whose name is so-called name Zion. Right. And this is the thing. A lot of black women or a lot of women in general, you don't even realize that you are worshiping Satan, right. And you are going with the Satan movement. Right. Okay, with these politicians, Republicans, right? Donald Trump was just in office. We know that he's racist, and everybody hated Donald Trump. Right. You think that Biden is good because he's hiring so many. He hired the first Native American Indian and gave her a position in his office. Right. He has she's a Native American Indian woman. Right. There's another woman who's supposed to be a black woman, Kamala Harris, but she really a dot head. Right. She's East Indian. Right. Okay, she's Mahatma Gandhi and peoples. Right. He's hiring a lot of colored people, and when we see that progress, it's hope. You know what I'm saying? We see a different, a non-racist America when a Democrat is in office. But if you look, what's going on? Biden is pushing filth. Trump is racist, but then they're not pushing black progress. They're pushing homosexuality. They're pushing. They look. When Biden got in office, he was back on board with continuing Obama's thing with having one gender bathroom. Right. He also hired the first transgender, some doctor or something. Somebody he had somebody in his office who's a transgender. He's also go ahead.
He's not continuing Barack Obama's joint. He's continuing his joint. Because you remember the first interview that Barack Obama did, he said he found it hard to follow homosexuality. But the same person interviewed Biden.
Right.
And Biden said, well, I think that everybody, gay, lesbian, and they all should have the equal rights and this, that, and the third. And so everybody ran after that because he was the so-called Caucasian that really was behind Barack Obama. Right. And so he pushed that. And so a lot of people ran behind it. Barack Obama had no other choice but to try to follow it. But he still could have, I understand what you're saying, could have said, no, I'm still not cool with that. I'm not dealing with that. Period, point blank. You understand what I'm saying? But they forced him to deal with that or accept that.
Right. So Obama said he wasn't comfortable with it. I mean, Obama said he wasn't comfortable with it, but Biden was with it.
Right.
And that's why during Obama 8 years he legalized gay marriage.
Right.
2 men and 2 women getting married. Now Biden's back pushing that same gender bathroom where it's like, you're gonna send your little daughter or little son to the bathroom. It's gonna be a grown man woman.
Right.
Or grown woman man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joanna Man and Caitlyn Jenner. What's Bruce Jenner's name? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
And what's that strong and that strong woman that's running track? You guys see the videos?
Right.
There's a man woman who's running track.
Right.
And he is defeating all the white girls.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the girls on the track field.
Right.
Yeah, he's a full out strong man.
Right.
And he's jumping over the hurdles like 20 to 50 times faster than his competitors.
Right.
It's unfair. It's unfair. Yep. You're gonna have a man, woman fighting woman. You're gonna have transgenders in MMA.
Yep.
In boxing.
Right.
They already did, right?
Right.
The transgenders are. That is cheating. You was a sucker.
No, It was there, so if I could, it was in the news where one of them, it was MMA. They broke the girl's skull.
Right. Yeah, I seen it. You a man, woman. Joanna Man is in UFC now.
Right.
And Joanna Man is looking like Tyson against regular woman.
Right. Yikes.
Regular woman. He's looking like Sugar Ray Robinson. Knocking out women. It's crazy. Like you're a sucker. You're a cheater.
Right.
But you reap what you sow, Americans. You reap, that's what you get.
Right.
All the white people gonna be mad. They like look, Tom.
Right.
Tom is like this in the track meet. He had to track me like this because Joanna Man is beating Susie.
Right.
Is beating Caitlin. Joanna Man is running 80 miles an hour, and Caitlin is running 15 miles.
Right.
It's ridiculous. That's what you get. This is Rome. This is Egypt. When all filth goes, everything is cleared. All of them homosexuality got to check. Bestiality got to check. Drug addicts, check. Everything, all filth, lust, destruction. It's a whole. What do they call it? It's a cesspool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I may, Wendy Williams, I would be just intimidated. She can't use a bathroom next to me. All the little things that she done to herself, like she actually looks like I never thought she was a woman ever.
Yeah, it looks like a thing. It does.
Like some transgender, I can only imagine.
Right. But she has a vagina, so we can't attack her. She got a box. That pencil has a box. Right. Okay. Cause I did that to ask you. Okay, you got it.
We got
Real quick.
But you want me to read it?
All
right. No. Gabrielle Union had the kindest words for Chloe Bailey.
You had the kindest words, but we're going to find out that these are deceiving words to train up a young girl. Her first mistake was showing a provocative video. Now she could be stopped right here. Somebody, she was right to be shamed. They said, "Girl, she's 22 years old." So her fans it was two things. Before she was dressing like this, when she first started off, I believe 3 or 4 years ago, she dressed more modest, and people held her to high regard because she did not play the whore. So now 3 or 4 years later, when you start playing the whore, your fans are confused because they held you to a certain light. Now they got to switch and look at you like the good girl gone bad. So now they're like, "You a hoe. You should have posted that video." And she cried. And now because she cried, now she has a whole support group.
Right.
She has a whole regime.
Right.
Who now they're doing a challenge now, but now what they do is tag Chloe's name in it now.
Right.
And in support of her and say, "Girl, don't be ashamed of your body." When as though they idiots and stupid, they're missing the whole point. Nobody body shamed her. Body shaming is saying you're too skinny, you're too fat. That's body shaming.
Right.
Right. Well, you just body shame. That's why I tried to stop you. I tried to correct you and stop you. Don't body shame. She's a sister. She looks like she looks. Let her get a man and live her life. Whatever.
Right.
That's body shaming.
Right.
That's like I did too. I called her a pencil. I should have did that.
Right.
That's body shaming. Now, the shame was a righteous shame because it was telling women what older women used to say back in the day. Everybody got a grandma and a big mama. She was evil and ate pork, but there were certain things that she did was right. She would see that niece or that granddaughter and say, "Girl, where you going? You leaving out the house dressed like that? No, the hell you ain't.
Right.
You better go and put some more clothes. You better go put some clothes on.
Right.
You better go put some clothes. The grandfather, you better go put some clothes on.
Right.
The father, you better go put some clothes on." Like our families back in the day would do that. And still, I got a grandmother who's 60, 70 years old. She still would say something, but Now you got mothers or the granddaughter who my grandmother's talking to is now her granddaughter's now 26. She can't say nothing to a 20. She would say something to a 26-year-old, but now the 26-year-old will fight her back.
Right.
And you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Right.
And now that she's older her age, it even get to the point where as though the grandchild is in this teenage in the 20s, I even fight the grandparents trying to tell them how to dress and what to do. So now the grandparent's voice is being the grandparent now would shut her mouth. The grandparent would now talk when the girl leaves, the young girl leaves. She'll say that girl know better. She ain't supposed to be out there doing that or dressing like that. But she start now, grandparents and righteous voices or righteous advice is being quiet. It's being muted. And wrong encouragement the volume is being turned up on that.
Right.
Go ahead,
Come on. Gabrielle Union had the kindest words for Chloe Bailey after the singer was criticized for being too sexy.
She was singing.
After the singer was criticized after being too sexy.
You want to sing it? It was too sexy. It was too inappropriate. Now you can be sexy. There's nothing wrong with you being sexy for your man. There's nothing wrong with you dressing. You ain't gotta dress like a Muslim. You ain't gotta dress like no ninja and all that. But you can look good, look beautiful in a nice dress. We got Passover is coming up in Texas, Houston, Texas. Passover is coming up April 24th. Sisters are gonna look beautiful in a dress. They're gonna be looking as bad as they can. It's gonna be glorious and holy. But that's a good picture. Let me see for that picture. It's nothing wrong with looking like this. This is fine right here. This is beautiful. Now you ain't got it. Now every day you don't have to be dolled up, but I've seen plenty of dresses you can wear every day. That's it's not showing your cleavage, not cut, don't have no slit in it, and you look fine. Right. And a man is gonna want you when you got a jean jacket and pants, sweats. Right. You could be walking down the street in a jean jacket and some pants and some boots. You can be showing no flesh, and a man gonna want you. Right. You're gonna be walking down the street. It's cold outside. You're gonna have. I seen a sister in the grocery store having a long fur coat, and because the fur coat looked so nice on her, I was like, she looked nice. She wasn't showing nobody, none of her body parts. She was covered in that coat, but she looked so good, so bad and beautiful in that damn coat and fly. I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be naked, man. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Uh-huh.
Gabrielle Union has Chloe Bailey's back. She sent the Do It singer a supportive message on Twitter.
A supportive message. Hey, give me a scripture too when it's in the New Testament when an older woman is supposed to teach a young woman. Go ahead, continue to read.
She sent the Do It singer a supportive message on Twitter after some trolls criticized Chloe for being too sexy in Instagram posts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of that.
Nah, it should be more. Another page that shows a couple of her tweets. Is it more if you scroll down?
Okay, yeah,
go ahead.
First, Gabrielle retweeted a glowing comment writer YOLO Akili sent the singer.
So now Gabrielle Union retweeted another person's quote. Go ahead.
And then she told Chloe to keep shining and be herself.
Now, was there something else that the person said that she tweeted?
So it's showing the tweets right here.
Yeah, read the tweet.
So it's saying Gabrielle Union said, perfectly said. Okay, YOLO Akili said, folks don't like nobody being too proud or too free.
Okay, so we're gonna get that. The proud and free. That's the thing. So some folks don't like that, but it's two kind of pride and two kind of confidence you can have. Now, the person not liking you because you're too proud and too confident. Well, one way is righteous. It's righteous when back in the day a black woman and a black man wear a fro, and our oppressor would hate that. And we confident rocking our hair out, our people out. I throw out. We confident in that, and people will hate us because of our head. That's a righteous confidence.
Right.
People will hate us because the way we dress, we might wear a little gold and wear some oils or something like that. People will hate that. That's righteous for you to be confident within your own self. And what the Lord gave you, the Lord gave you woolly hair, and if you represent it the right, right way, and your oppressor hates it, that's fine. But now in this one, the response, what she's talking about is people hate you if you're too proud and confident. It's a wicked confidence. The wicked confidence is when you now are not ashamed of showing the world your nakedness.
Right.
If you are on social media, because that video that she got so-called trolled on, that video has 3 million views. 3 million views. So people watch it 3 million times, and now the whole world, can see it. It's wicked. It's that is evil confidence.
Right.
And it's shameful.
Right.
And that was the word. Everybody that covered the story was like, Chloe cried when she was shamed.
Right.
She should. It's good shame. It's righteous shame, and it's wicked shame.
Right.
It's right. A woman that has righteous shame, she has a standard.
Right.
And she has a limit. When you shamefaced it, you're gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna show my body. I'm not gonna show myself like this.
Right.
Another thing I thought of too, which is crazy. A woman, which is crazy, is remember when even us, a woman, when they get ashamed, when say they dress may blow up like it's windy, they dress blew up and they try to push it down like, oh my goodness, because you're not trying to show the world. You're not trying to show the world your nakedness, your shame. Or like if they might bend over and your clothes rise up and they try to quickly pull it down so people won't see their legs but behind.
Right.
It's because they're not trying to show their shame. They're not trying to show their nakedness.
Right.
Now, so think about that. If you are ashamed because the wind blows, or you might bend over, your clothes rise up, and it might show you behind. Why would you not be ashamed about doing the busted challenge or doing the silhouette challenge when you're showing your whole body with no clothes on?
Right.
You see how confusing it is?
Right.
You confused. Say like what they call a nip slip. You got a certain shirt or a certain dress or something, and say you cover up their breasts and adjust their shirt. If you ain't ashamed, you might as well just let them hang out in it. Unless they some do.
Right.
A lot of women know what shit. Like they so confused because they know if they have a nip slip or their clothes blow up because of the wind or they bend over, their clothes, their nakedness is showing, then they quickly cover it back up or pull their pants back up. They know, like to them, that's embarrassing. They're embarrassed because they don't know who was looking while they got out of the car, and they didn't realize that their shirt was too down when they got in the car. They didn't realize when they got up, their pants was down and their butt crack was showing, their butt was showing, and they looking like, oh, I didn't even know I was showing. Was anybody looking? That's shame. They're conscious of that, of not being embarrassed and being ashamed. But now they've been taught not to be ashamed and just show everything. Give me why he read? Give me
Scripture you
the apocrypha is Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 verse 15.
He's at 26
and 15. Go ahead, continue to read this out.
Come. So Gabrielle Union said, perfectly said, feel this love and know we got you at Chloe.
And that's the thing with though Gabrielle Union is an older woman. She's an older, and she's a witch, and she's known for being a hoe, and she don't have the right to talk because she gets ashamed and she cries and get her feelings when somebody bring up her whole past. At one time, she was doing an interview. No, she read some comments It was that baby that she had with Dwayne Wade. It was a struggle. It took some time, I believe 2 years, or it took some years and some time for her to get pregnant because she could not get pregnant. Now a troll online said if she wasn't such a hoe, she would have got pregnant right away.
Right.
Gabrielle Union took offense to that, and her demons came out and she went off. You call me a hoe, and I like she went off about that.
Yeah.
Because she knows her past, like she knows she's a hoe, and she doesn't want anybody to uncover her shame and talk about her shame. Right. That's her shame. But now all of a sudden,
I don't think that's like she had the baby. I think they have like a surrogate mother or something like that.
I think she got pregnant. I think
okay.
She got pregnant finally, but it was a struggle. And somebody said you wouldn't have a struggle getting pregnant. Mm. And she got cut by her. She got shamed. And because of that, she went off. Because of that, you can see the demons are coming out of her face, on her face, and all that. You get what I'm saying? But now this witch, who helped that, who inspired, so she's it's a 22-year-old girl she's talking to. She's saying, "I got your back." She ain't saying, "You know what, sister? Let me pull you to the side. Look, if she's a righteous woman, if it was really kind words, this would be the kind words. Go ahead, pull this first. Go ahead, Warren. And keep that page up. Okay, go ahead. You do your thing, because I
okay.
Go ahead.
So like, what verse is it, sir?
No.
Titus chapter 2.
Let his brother pull it. Let him do it. I want you on the computer. Pull Titus what?
Titus what? I got it. Titus chapter 2 verse 3. I got it. 1 second. Titus chapter 2 verse 3. Mm-hmm. The aged woman, likewise.
The aged woman. You know, Chloe is 22. Gabrielle, which is about 40-something years old. Oh, you 20 years older, 20 years older than Chloe. Through your 40 years of life, of ups and downs, and men leaving you and you being a hoe and all that, you're supposed to learn from your past and learn. You clearly know, you fully know the knowledge between good and evil. You know what it is to be a hoe and not to be a hoe. Your job is to stop the younger generation, the woman under you, the younger woman, from going through what you went through. But the issue is, and just like this brother Warren told me plenty of stories where we meet, it'll be brothers and women, they don't want to stop their children from being harmed by this world because they've been harmed by the world. It's like, okay, I've been harmed by the world, I might as well let him be harmed and let him go through it too.
Right.
That is the evil lesson that America teaches, the evil influence and evil lesson that America teaches us. Whereas though in here, we teach our children don't have to go through what we went through.
Right. You
got brothers in here that have been in the school for 20 years, 30 years, and they got sons that's 19, 20, 25 that never got high, that never ate pork, never had sex with a hoe. They got sons that's in their 20s that never did those things.
Right.
And that's how you're supposed to do it. We the wicked ones right now, but let our seeds be pure. You get what I'm saying? That's how you stop. That's how you stop generations from going through the same thing over and over and over again. Like how however old we are now, in the 70s it was like this, in the 80s it was like this, in the 90s it was like this. It was a continual cycle of domestic violence, drug abuse, whores, and homosexuality. Right. Well, now you come into UPK and you learn what's right. If you have a child, and even if you don't have a child, there's plenty of us that live in our neighborhoods and we travel to and fro. We meet a lot of young people and a lot of people our age, but we'll teach them the right thing. I know plenty of brothers that meet that, go to the different hoods and different cities, see little brothers and might kick some righteous game to them. And it stops them from going through the same thing, it stops them from committing the same sins that we committed. That's our job.
Right.
That's what the Most High wanted us to do. That's what the Most High always said. Teach every generation. Or teach your kids so they can teach your kids so they can teach their kids. That's the Bible. Mm-hmm. But in America, us growing up and being taught, being deceived, we got molested, our children get molested too. We got high, our children get high too. We did something, you know. Your father, listen, the young man that's on the corner that's selling drugs, his father is either dead or his father is in jail for selling drugs.
Right.
And now he's selling drugs, and he also sometimes have a big reputation on the streets. Like, oh, your father, when he was out here, man, your father was grinding. Your father was that. And then he tries to be the junior drug dealer. He tried to be the next thing up. I'm gonna keep my father's reputation in the streets. I'll make sure I keep his name. I'll make sure I ain't gonna let this happen or let that happen. I'm gonna hold it down. And brother, you set yourself for death, and Lord allow you to learn, so you ain't gotta, that deal that you set up that goes bad. Lord allow you don't reach that time when that time comes. You die.
Right.
Or you go to jail.
Right.
Now you out there on the streets. You got a little baby. Now you go to jail. Now the grandfather in jail, the father in jail, the mother out there with a baby. And let's see if that baby gonna grow up, and now it'll be 3 generations in jail.
Number 9.
And he'll actually get help from his father's friends that's telling him that. Like one of them is the big plug. Right. Because his father worked with him, or they came up together, he's gonna put him on.
Right. Oh yeah, hell yeah, you gonna put them on. You so son? Nah, here. Go ahead. Go ahead and read more of this witch.
God.
Because she inherited his wickedness, man. I personally have a personal thing against Gabrielle Union. I do. I have a personal thing against her. She's my sister, but she encourages too much wicked stuff.
Correct.
She encouraged that damn Zion to be Zion. She encouraged her husband is weak. She did not strengthen him. She made him more butter and more cotton candy. And he's full out there cotton candy. He's full out there, That's why they make jokes. Like when that was Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade post pictures, they say look at Gabrielle Union's wife, and they talk about Dwayne Wade because even in the pictures she looked more masculine, and she looks masculine and he looks feminine. I can't even say what I be saying about him. That she probably be doing unlawful things to him. Right.
Yikes.
It's ridiculous. Go ahead.
It's like time check 9:03.
Yeah, we're gonna close now.
She said, Gabrielle Union said, perfectly said, feel this love and know we got you. At Chloe, please continue to fly. Soaring while under attack is hard as F, but you are not alone.
Soaring through this world, becoming yourself and being free and gaining status is not easy in this world. We got people attacking you, but we got your back. Where that should be, when those words of advice should be if this girl was planning a movie and the director told her she had to perm her hair or cut her hair, or the director said she had to wear a thong and she was like, nah, I don't want to wear this. That's what Gabrielle Union, if she's a righteous woman, she would tell women who are pressured to become a whore, she would support them not being a whore. Like she would say, oh, don't worry about that movie role. The executive producer saying you gotta wear this and do this, and you gotta shake your behind in the movie. Don't even worry about it. I got your back, sister. We gonna find you a movie to do where you can be like Cicely Tyson. Go ahead.
I just gotta share one thing. We're talking about are people who take their oath to be where they are. So they're in fraternities,
right? As far as that, whereas though you talking about secret societies, and that, we know that those things exist, but we more going to it. Moreover, it's them making a decision to follow America's traditions, these Roman and Greek national traditions, or not. You follow American traditions and appease the oppressor, or you're gonna, follow the Most High and make the oppressor angry because you're not following him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Book of Ecclesiastes.
Go ahead.
Chapter 26, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace.
Right. So the sister, before she was showing her body, and any sister that don't show her body, you are double grace. You shamefaced, meaning you have a standard, meaning you certain things you're not going to do. You're not going to put yourself out there and expose yourself because you have a cap and a limit on what you would do and what you would not do. You have some discipline. It's holy to be shamefaced. And the Bible says you are a double grace if you do have some standards. Right. If you don't show your body, if you're not playing a whore, you are a double grace. What they do, and you see America is contrary. America is against the Bible. Right. And America pushes out people. You see Gabriel Union saying, I got your back. Be shameless. Be shameless. Right. Don't be shamefaced. It's shamefaced versus being shameless. That's why I should have named this class. Shamefaced versus shameless. Because that's what they pushing. It's the same thing. To hoe or not to hoe. It's the same thing. Right. The hoe is shameless. The not a hoe is shamefaced. The shamefaced one is not going to be under peer pressure like when I was in school. And so, and then the sister, and when she cried in the video about shamefaced, she said, I was insecure, and this is the way I feel sexy. She's like, everybody knows, usually I be chilling. I'm a nerd. What is a nerd? Like when we bring out, actually think about what a nerd is, right? In school, a nerd was somebody or a geek was somebody who was smart, right? Or somebody who was smart, right? Somebody who did all their work, right? The other kind of nerd, or the lame, somebody who was lame, was somebody who would not do what the popular kids were doing, right? And what the popular kids were doing was growing up too fast and being wicked and harming themselves, right? You'll have so-called nerds who never had sex, right? And the popular kids will laugh at them, but really, you laughing at something pure. Right. The popular kid is a hoe at 16. Right. You got one nerd who's 16. And she's only a nerd because she ain't had no sex, and she hasn't smoked any weed yet, or she hasn't got drunk yet. That's why she a nerd. That's why she a lame. And you try to tell her, girl, go ahead and drink. Go ahead and take that dress off. Wear the short dress. It's all in the movies, and we all witness it in our school, where though a sister got pressured to wear a shorter dress, and all of a sudden she became popular because she got more attention. It's easily worshipped like a god. It's worship like a mini god or like a deity. Whereas though you become popular in school, but it's only because of materialistic things or like how sexy you look. You get what I'm saying? So she called herself a nerd, and like how Captain Shaka had brought out, she acting like nerds, brother. Like nerds don't get no ride. Like nerds is the ones that don't have no sex. But what I wanted to bring out was what I'm seeing. I mean, what I have seen is. And what we have seen is how you might have seen a sister who's so-called a nerd in school, and she either stayed that way, or now she wasn't popular at first, but after high school, and after college, now that she's an adult, now she's more attractive, but she's only attractive because she's being sex. She's dressing like a hoe. We've seen that like that in high school. She wasn't wearing this, she wasn't wearing that in high school. She wasn't. Nobody even looking at her. Now you see, you're like, damn, look at her now. But it's only because sometimes it's because she look good, other times because she only dressing like a hoe. Right. And it destroys her mind, because I know a lot of girls who just regular chicks, and they're not into really dressing provocative. They're not into dressing like a hoe. But after time, as they become adults and become grown women, they looking for a man. But the men, a lot of times they date men, but they would see the men would leave them, and they crush because the man left them, and they would see who the man left them for, and they would see that the man left them for a whore, and they say, you know what? After a while, they crack under pressure, And now they say, you know what, I'm gonna adapt myself because I see men, most of the men like this kind of woman. They like Rihanna, they like a Rihanna, they like a Nicki Minaj, they like a Cardi B. I gotta dress like Megan. I gotta start twerking my behind like Megan so I can get some attention. So that's the whole war that we're fighting against, and the spiritual wickedness that we're fighting against. Whereas though our oppressor gives our women millions of dollars to dress a certain way, to dress like a whore, just for the average Joes like us and our women who are middle school, high school students, college students, working class, or whatever, to look up to them and then mimic what they do. That's what our women do. I see my own cousin who's a 5-year-old. You know, the kids have tablets.
Right.
Kids got their tablets. She on YouTube. She must be watching cartoons. She's on YouTube watching all Nicki Minaj music videos. And she was 6 years old, and she went shopping and told her grandmother that she wanted some booty shorts. 6-year-old girl. So her grandma was like, okay, we about to go shopping. What clothes you want? And she said out of her mouth, I want booty shorts. I seen that, and I turned and looked, and I exploded. I said, what the, nah. And it's crazy because at that time, that grandmother did not pop her or did not at least check her like, you ain't wearing that. The grandmother, because now the grandmother is taught and the parents are taught to be the child's friend, ain't fighting against it. Some parents will let their daughter wear makeup at a young age and wear this, and there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup and all that, but it's a time for everything. It's a time to wear your makeup. It's a time to dress sexy. I want to, you all of us, we got who in here got issues against lingerie? Who hates lingerie? Anybody hate lingerie?
Wow.
Who loves lingerie? One of my favorites is lace. That lace, I love that lace.
Right.
But it's for me to see.
Right.
It's for you to see your woman in whatever material you like. I like lace. I like silks on my woman at nighttime. Beautiful thing. Beautiful for y'all too. But those are that's and it's for us. We gotta encourage our women we gotta show our women. So the men, what we gotta do is, if we come back to the Bible, we're not gonna worship Cardi B because first of all, in our mind, we know not to have sex with another man's woman. And we also know what Christ said, don't even look at another woman. Because if you look at another woman, you gonna start thinking about having sex with her. So you might as well pluck your eye out. You might as well before you start. You can't fight yourself from looking at another man's woman. Pluck your eye out, because the more you stare at her and look at her, you're gonna start conjuring and thinking about her and eventually you're gonna try to approach that another man's woman. Don't do that. And Cardi B is Offset's wife. Beyonce, who a lot of men might look at and think she's like, man, I'll hit that, is Jay-Z's wife.
Right.
Jay-Z, with all the money in the world, he can tell his woman, that's it. You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to dress like that. We good on money. You ain't got to ever, have them whole concerts or whatever. But he don't. He don't stop that her cash from coming in.
Right.
When if he was a righteous man, he would say, damn that money, and we're going to find another way to make money. You know what I'm saying? These women could be, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, they are big influencers. Nicki Minaj are big influencers. But they can be influencers on a righteous term. They can tell a woman, if Beyonce drop a song right now, and she has, about being with her man, and only being with her man, not having multiple aside dude, a work husband, this husband, that husband. One dude that pay my electric. I got one dude to pay my electric. I got one dude to take me out. I got one dude to pay the rent. I got one dude to pay the car note. If she pushes a song if all the women, all the celebrities pushes a song like that to not have those men, black women will start being influenced enough to do it. And moreover, if we stop loving hoes, they will stop being hoes.
Right.
Like because they doing it for our attention. Let us be at the club and be at the bar. And the sister that walks, because some sisters that walk in there, they dress regular. They might dress a little cute, but it ain't hoe. A whole outfit. Give them the attention. And there's some that they come in the club completely shameless. They come in there with the lace on, with lace material on, and with some things on. Let her get no attention. And she gonna feel stupid because she automatically know when she walks in the club, usually by her dressing naked and wearing see-through clothes, that she's gonna get the most attention. We gotta change the narrative on what's beautiful and what's sexy for a woman.
Right.
That's what we the leaders, they're trying to attract us. No matter what they say, oh, I don't need no man, this and that. Shut up. Don't listen to that. They're trying to attract us. They need a man. They want a man. We got to change the narrative and show them what's attractive. And what's attractive is a woman who does not show her body to the world. The sister Chloe Bailey, it was good that she got shamed. It was good that she cried. After she cried and felt bad, she should have learned a lesson. Whereas though the lesson learned is I'm gonna delete all my pictures and videos of me showing my body and shaking my behind. But now she's posting more pictures of her half naked and more videos because you got witches and evil women like Gabrielle Union and other women telling her to not be ashamed. We're gonna close on the last scripture. Give me verse 26 and 10.
Come.
No, 26 and 9. Then we're gonna go down to 10. Go ahead.
Come. Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Give me definition of haughty, Warrior. Haughty. Or let the brother get it. Brother, you're pretty quick on your joint. Give me definition of haughty. Somebody give me definition of that. You keep the scripture on, Warrior.
I got it. Haughty.
Right.
Arrogantly superior and disdainful.
Right. Arrogantly superior, meaning the whore is proud.
Right.
Man, she walks on them 6-inch, 7-inch, 10-inch heels.
Right.
With her head up looking tall, got her lashes long, and there's nothing wrong with her. But there's certain whore things that are for whores.
Right.
That they do. And it's a look. You walking around looking like a whore, looking like, if you walking down the street and every man is like, hey, yo, like every man, like sometimes there's people that, everybody like lusting after you.
Right.
That's another thing. Gabrielle Union is influencing this girl. So now what? And this is the thing that these hoes don't do. These hoes fight for so-called woman rights. You should be able to show your body and this and that, but you never bring up the negative.
Right.
This girl gonna start getting comments by men that she don't want.
Right.
She's 22. I mean, she's an adult. It's gonna be people who might want to tie her up and rape her or something like that. You gotta think about. You gotta know the negative, and that's what Gabrielle Union. You old enough. You have been through a lot of whole phases. I'm pretty sure you have some negatives. You have some times where though you might have been drugged and didn't say anything about it. You might have been raped and didn't say anything about it. You ain't say nothing about that. We got to bring up the bad things. The girl is 20. The girl is 22. Stop her before she goes to a party, and things get little like she's chilling and being cute, drinking a little wine or drinking a little liquor at first, but then it gets a little too crazy. Now the party, she don't know what kind of rich party she had. She had a rich party with, T.I. and Tiny. T.I. and Tiny might want to try to get her. T.I. and Tiny right now going through some allegations. Whereas though they meet young girls and have threesomes. Right. So, and they get the girl, the girl come in, they take the girl's phone, get her, you know, she might do some Molly, do some drugs, and they have a threesome. This young girl right here, 22, could easily get invited to one of them rich people's parties, and it can turn into an orgy or a threesome, and it can be something that she did not want. And then guess what? She's more damaged. She's more depressed, and she's gonna lash out for attention and do things and be more of a whore, and be more loose, and pile up more bodies, and have more arrows in her quiver.
All right.
Go ahead and read.
Verse 10.
That's my favorite one. That's one of my favorite ones.
Verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Now they tell us this is not to be shamefaced. They said be shameless. What the Bible say?
If thy daughter be shameless,
if your daughter be shameless, what?
Keep her in straitly.
Keep her in straitly. Keep her in line. Keep her in a house and keep her in order.
Right.
Keep her in straitly. Make sure she walk that straight line. Make sure she's listening and obeying orders. Make sure she's not showing that tail. Make sure she's not sneaking over no boy's house. Make sure she ain't calling no boy's house being grown. If she want a boyfriend, let her talk to the father. If she want a man, she gotta be the right way. Once again, she don't have to dress like a nun. But if you go on her Instagram, the stuff that she's wearing on Instagram is ridiculous. On Instagram she has on a dress, and the dress is made with cuts and like holes in it. So like if she has on a dress, and then there's one cut right here, so the cut, that's her flesh sticking out. It's another cut in the dress, her flesh is sticking out here. It's another cut down. It's 4 cuts down there by her thighs, so her thighs are fully exposed. But then this fabric covering the midriff or her vagina area. So it's a fabric over her vagina, but then the thighs are cut out in the dress. They're making our daughters whores, and then whores like that witch Gabrielle Union is destroying the next generation. She's 22. She's going to destroy the next generation, the next generation, and the next generation. Our job is to fight against that.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 26 and 25.
Right. Okay, we're gonna get 25. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's finish that, then we'll get that. Go ahead.
Come. Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
You see that? Lest she abuse herself over much liberty, which is much. The liberty is the freedom. We all have mothers, aunties, wives, and daughters and sisters who have abused themselves over much liberty, and they can never go back. I don't know if you ever think about if you ever had a woman, you used to be with her, you left her, and y'all trying to get back together. Y'all trying to get back together some months later, a year later, 2 years later. Between that time, she been messing with other men.
Right.
Sometimes she hasn't, sometimes she has. When we go back to her, she ain't the same. I've been through that. With I'm like, this girl, you know, when we first got together, she was more in love. She was in love with me. Then once she got back, her spirit is different. She's more dark now. She's more rebellious now too. You can see the spirit on her. It's ridiculous. Go ahead. Okay, the much liberty, like I said, if you at some party and your daughter get drugged in the party, if she get too drunk, she was drinking, her girls, she's laughing and joking and dancing and all that. Now she get too drunk. And now, something happened. Somebody took advantage of you. And you wake up crying because you don't know what you blacked out. You don't know what the hell happened. You just woke up in somebody's bed, or you woke up on the floor somewhere. You're not at home. You don't know. You're scared because you don't know what the hell happened. But you didn't have to go through that. Too much liberty kills. And that's what the Bible. The Bible says she's going to destroy herself over much liberty. It happens all the time. There's women that can never come back to their regular. I've seen women who completely what's the psych home in D.C. St. Elizabeth and
Come.
St. Elizabeth in D.C. It's a psych ward called St. Elizabeth. I know women who's in there. I know 2 women that lived around my father way around Stadium Armory, Potomac Avenue area. One woman is like in her 30s, close to 40s. That woman, when she was young, she was 19. She was very pretty, and a lot of evil men had sex with her. And she admitted it after she got out of the psych ward. She admitted, like, the reason I'm so crazy because all the men I had sex with. She was 19, but she was beautiful. Older men, 20s, 30s, having sex with her, and then throwing her away. It destroyed her mind. There was another sister that I personally was trying to date when I was like 17, and she was more a little like the way she dressed was like more like preppy, and like she had some standards. Like she wouldn't let me touch her or anything. Like I did anything proper, as far as that. But then she went to college, came back. Her spirit was way different. Like she cut her hair. Her hair was like she had cut her hair bald, like a low. What clip you use? The one.
Wait.
She her.
One with the 360.
She had the one with the grain. She was pregnant, and then after she was pregnant, she went to the psych ward after she was pregnant. But she had said it was crazy. It was spiritual because when I was 16 trying to date her, people was trying to tell her, go ahead, tell her to give me a chance. And y'all go ahead, y'all go in the room, y'all have sex or whatever. She's like, nah, I'm not doing that, whatever. I don't get down like that. That's what she said. And then when she was like 5 years later, she's 22 and destroyed after college or whatever happened in college. I seen big destruction, and she was trying to have sex then. I didn't want her then because she was completely crazy. At the age of, she was at the age of 22, 23, she was like, you see people in the streets talk to themselves and drug addicts and all that. She was on that level at 22, 23. And for me to personally date her when I was 16 and see her like that, she had been through a lot within a short time. Drugs and partying and sex or whatever, whatever happened. Go ahead.
Serious business, heavy too. Like when you saying that, and with that scripture, much liberty.
Right.
Much liberty is when you don't have nobody over you, somebody telling you what's right and what's wrong, or even when you have somebody. This is the worst part. Right. Even when you have somebody that's supposed to be over you, and they just let you do whatever. Like you was just saying, like the little girl 6 years old said, let me get booty shorts, right? And grandmother didn't say anything. Right. And a lot of time that come because it's like, say versus grandma probably would have said something. Right. But she want that company. But the daughter probably threatened her, if you chastise my daughter, you ain't gonna never see her or this, that, or the third.
Right. And in this time and day, a lot of grandmothers who know what's right, because they was born in the 40s, in the 30s. Right. My grandma was born in the 20s. Right. I know other grandmothers born in the 20s, born in the 1930s, born in 1940. They know what the hell they was getting beat back then for being out of line. Right. They know what's right. But now women that were born in the 20s, 30s, and 40s have to adjust to 2021, where though you keep your mouth shut on shaming a whore.
Right. Right. Well, so I got a script. I'm gonna get the script, but I don't want to give a last comment on that. Too, like somebody told me, like, they want their kids to come and chill with me and my family, but they don't want them to learn what I'm going for. Exactly. So I said, let them motherfuckers slack and skin. Let their ass stay where the fuck they, excuse my language, where they at. Because they come to my house, they gonna learn what I'm learning. Right? There ain't no me going. I'm accept your child or whatever, and then I'm gonna turn into a woman on my beliefs. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna dodge on my belief. You crazy as hell. You ain't coming in here. You know what I'm saying? If you come in here, you're going to do what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do it, and it's going to be decent, and it's going to be honorable. I'm not going to abuse your child, but they're going to learn that you can't dress a certain way in my house. It's a standard that's in my house. I'm not going to have somebody looking at your kid a certain way that they want to kidnap them and rape them or do anything. They're going to look and say, this big dude got them babies and whatnot on point. Because, and then they're going to know I'm not playing that right wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing that, right? You know, you feel me? But those were kids getting kidnapped. A lot of black kids getting kidnapped because they got too much liberty to do and dress the way they want to dress. You understand? Like I knew when I was growing up, I was getting ready to tell you when you said, when I was growing up, there was this girl going to school with me. She dressed in long dress. That chick was hair. I don't know what she was back then, had a little hair wrap. She was going to school. Nobody messed with her.
Exactly. That's the thing, right?
Nobody messed with her. I saw her like 15 years ago. And she was still decent, and every Negro was trying to holler.
Right.
We was at a school function. I went back 15 years, like a school function. Every Negro was still trying to holler, and she was still doing the same thing.
Right. And the thing is this: for women that's listening to this, if you think you're a nerd, if you think you're undesirable, for right now, young girls that's in high school right now, don't look at them girls that's out there. They're the popular kids. They're only popular because she's a whore. She's
right.
She's popular because she's going to the parties. She's the one that's getting drunk, getting high, and twerking, and then the basketball team, gonna have sex with her.
Right.
Or that's why she's popular. She's popular, and she's crazy. She's crazy. Don't worry about that. You're gonna be those same young boys gonna want you when you get out of college, because that sister, that popular girl right now who's been a whore, she's gonna be done and ran through quick.
Right.
She's gonna be 23, 24 and be done.
Right.
You're gonna be 23 and 24, and you're gonna be looking all the way right.
Right.
And your value, and this is the thing, this is the most important thing, this is number one. Your value is gonna increase.
Right.
Increase over hers. Like you, right now, you're gonna be like, stop. You look at her, you think that girl that's popular in school is dressed like a horse. You think her stock is higher than yours. That's fine. That stock is going to decline quickly within 2-3 years, for a couple of years. Your stock is going to rise, and your stock is going to be ridiculously valuable.
That's right.
Because men are going to see that you, even after high school and college, you still kind of sort of like untouched. Like you don't have a reputation of being a whore. It's a sister right now, because right now who was a nerd in school that I want right now, but because she stopped liking my pictures when she found out I had a rib. But she liked my pictures. Once she see my rib, she like, oh nah, he got. That's because she's Christian. She don't know. If she finds out that I can have another woman, I'm getting her. Because she was a nerd in school and nobody wanted her, but she was smart. And I think it might have been a little because we had a science class together, health class. Health class, they have sex ed and all that. We had a project where we supposed to be husband and wife, and we supposed to come up with a budget and everything for your house and everything for your kids, this and that. And she did all of the work. She didn't let me do nothing. She just did, we got an A on it. Because that's what she was a smart girl. She always had honor roll and all that.
Right.
But she was not known for nobody. She was in high school. She was not desirable.
Right.
But now she's ridiculous. She's a rose.
Right.
She's a blossom rose, and roses is beautiful. Flowers are beautiful.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Don't let her finish the scripture.
Let me get this. You got
25. The one he pulled. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
And there we go. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Whereas we just read a shamefaced woman, a woman who will cover her behind, a woman who's not going to show her body to the world. The God called her a double grace. But a shameless woman is counted as a dog And you know what a female dog is.
Right.
The shameless woman is kind of the dog. She is nothing. All the women that I knew from college and high school who are shameless are now like burnt out.
Right.
They burnt out, they ran through, and they're crazy. When I came into the school when I was 19, I had a woman that came in here with me. She was 19 also. We were the same age. She decided not to stay. 6 months later, she left. Now, 10 years later, if you see her now, she's not as beautiful as she used to be. She had eyebrows when we was 19 and 20. She don't got no eyebrows no more. Her hair is really thin. Like she looks bad. She looks like she's about to be in a psych ward. She gained so much weight. Like there's nothing wrong. Like, you know, I was a pencil. I was always 140 when I was 19. I'm like 230 now.
God.
So you can gain good weight if you do it the right way.
God.
But hers is like, she looks bad. No eyebrows, thin hair. When you look into her eyes, she looks different. She looks bad and bad. She's in bad shape from too much liberty. She's destroyed. This is a woman I personally knew, a woman I had sex with, I laid down with, that was my woman, and decided to leave at 19. The Lord has destroyed her. And that's what happened to a lot of our women. A lot of women, through time, like they start off hoeing when they're 17, 19, 18, think it's cute.
Right.
But they don't realize the damage that builds up and
right.
the psychological destruction
right.
that builds up. Like you making yourself crazy because you put on different spirits. Each, you know, you have a piece of each man's spirit that you have sex with. Now, from a woman, right. a woman, you know, who graduated high school in the 90s, about time, you know, in the 20s or whatever, you had sex with 20 men, 30 men, 40 men, 50 men. That's why your mind ain't right.
Right.
All right. With that, to hoe or not to hoe, don't be a hoe, man.
Right.
It's beautiful. You are double graced. If you do not want to show your body to the world, God said you are grace. You are double grace if you don't want to show your body. That's right. It's a good thing that Chloe barely cried. She should have cried when she was shamed because then now she put on notice about things that she should not do and things that she should do. Now she's on notice that she should not dance like that. She should not put herself out like that. But that is whole activity. And if you do that no more and be shamefaced, you are double grace. But if you want to continue down the line and be like Gabrielle Union, you too, when you her age, you want to have babies, you might have an issue having babies too, just like she does. You might not be able to have any children. You might get AIDS and HIV. You might die. You might be in one of those stories that accuse one of these men and accuse one of these men in the future that he drugged you. But had you had a father or had you know, unfortunately you don't have a father, or if you had, you know, somebody righteous or somebody telling you the right thing and you listen to them, listening to good advice, listen to your parents, or listen to the I.S.U.P.K, and it's going to save your life, men and women. It's going to save your life.
Right.
It saves us from our drug addictions, saves us from our lust. When we listen to the advice, it's hard because we got to fight our own flesh up in here.
Right.
That's the war. The war is fighting yourself.
That's right.
That's a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Because you got to fight yourself.
God.
But when you come out victorious, you become more strong, you become more disciplined.
That's right.
More strong. You become such a champion.
That's right.
That other men look up to you for strength and advice.
That's right.
And women will look up to you for advice and strong counseling, and you will help them shed themselves of the evil knowledge, and they will have a righteous knowledge which is in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right.
With that, we're gonna pass the class to Trooper Awadi.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. Another 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will and offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The 2021 Passover, April 24th.
Mm-hmm.
You want to speak on that too?
Yeah, our Passover is coming up. It's going to be April 24th. It's going to be in Houston. It's going to be in Houston, Texas. Come on down and someone down and celebrate and remember your people's history, man. Passover is about a day when the Lord protected us from our enemy and destroyed our enemies.
All right.
It ain't Christmas. It's not Easter. It's not a celebration of a false god or false deity, man. And then we also got it's a memorial and a remembrance and a holy convocation, man. It's way better than Christmas.
Right.
And we got another one that's coming up on February 25th. It's going to be Purim. That's another one. That Purim is a beautiful story about a beautiful sister named Esther,
right,
who convinced the heathen king to not kill all Israel,
right,
or to convince the heathen king to kill the person that he hired in one of his positions. The king hired another heathen in a position. I forgot what position he had. He was an officer of the king, and the king had gave him permission to do whatever he wanted. Signed a letter or decree, or whatever like that. That heathen hated all Israel because of one Israelite, one strong, tough, rebellious Benjamite named Mordecai.
Right.
This heathen would walk through the court, and everybody would bow down to the heathen. Mordecai, that Benjamite, he ain't bow down to that heathen.
Right.
He said, "I'm not bowing to you.
Right.
I'm not bound. I'm not bound to you. I'm not bound."
Right.
So because of that one Benjamite, he said, "I'm gonna kill all Israelites." So then Mordecai came up with a plan and got his niece or a sister that he was a guardian over because her parents had passed away. Got her, she was beautiful. So her beauty was used to sway the king, and she used to sway the king. And the king said, "I'll give you anything you want." And she said, "Well, your officer's trying to kill my people. He's trying to kill them." So when she told him that, the king was like, "Nah, that's not gonna happen." And then he got scared once Esther told the king what he was trying to do. He thought he was going to be killed then. So he went and bowed to Esther to her feet and tried to beg her for forgiveness. And the king came back in and was real angry, like, "See, now you're trying to take my woman. You trying to kill her people. Now you're trying to have sex with her. I'm gonna kill you for sure now." And he hung Hagar. He hung him on a gallows that he set up to hang Mordecai. That's a heavy. That's something we need to remember.
That's right.
Damn Christmas. Remember Esther. Remember Mordecai. Remember Passover that's coming up, man.
Right.
And Purim is going to be February 25th. All right. Go ahead, continue.
Come. Remind Akim and Akwakim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or top. With that, I say, Elijah,